Socrates had a dream. Plato had a dream. Big John got a dream. All my life, I want logic and truth. I stuck my argument or get locked in a booth. I play my interlocutor, reads more than a meme, so I can have a real debate for 72 strings.
Quick warning, if you talk about the fights, you get banned. Do not talk about the fights.
Referencing courses, fire up that manuscript and zoom through the pages. Popping open commentary, scholars through the ages. And I pray you read your own books. Don't just quote the title. Jesus Christ, if you say Hammond wrong.
Already had to block a few people. I will block you.
All my sources keep winning. All my life, I want logic and truth. More one logic and truth. Respect my argument or get wrecked in the booth.
Hi, baby. Abby's literally driving back now. She's on the road right this second.
Logic and truth. Respect the scholarship or I'ma fact check you. I got 25 tabs open on my bowels. They yes sir, we'll fire to that fallacy. Your arguments are stretcher and your thesis got your weight, your peer review, cut your measure, but you never read the context at your academic treasure. Check Googling, I'm studying the quick text and posing. This exegesis go there, so watch out. Big John gon' share it. All my life, I want logic.
She's not steering the steering wheel, she's just on the road. Smash the like button, share the live, do the things you need to do.
I wrote a coach with a good rhyme, and I run that flow with a sharp mind. That's a seal man case with the citations. They say, try, you won't change minds. No way, nah, no way, nah, no way, nah. Okay, you'll never debate, it's gonna make a find. It's a failure with the intellectually blind. I can tell you who, what, when, where, how to check your source line on time. Yeah, read the text, read the text, read the text. All the back, I'm vexed. Killing everything from bad faith to what Muhammad he got 3 day at hominem and other options like a syllogism. My beat, P-I-G-J-O-N, I win and wallet to the feet. P-I-G-J-O-N, my ghetto wallet in the streets. Yeah, all my life, I want logic and truth. I want logic and truth. Respect my argument or get wrecked in the booth. I pray my interlocutor reads more than a me, so I can have a real debate for 72 streams. Let it burn. Let it burn. Socrates had a dream. Pointers had a dream. Pointers had a dream. Pointers had a dream.
You know, everybody complains, oh, it's AI slop, it's AI slop. You know what AI slop is doing? It's showing you how lazy artists have been. It's showing you how lazy they have been. Because go back, listen, me and Abby listen to old music. 90% of what we listen to, or at least I listen to, when we're on the road, is music that came out in the 60s to the 80s, between that time period. I even have some music that's in the 40s, man. And you know what AI can't do? It can't replicate that type of music, because that music was complicated. It was good. They had ideas and thoughts, and they wanted to navigate, and they wanted to break new frontiers and do crazy things. They wanted to do that, man. They wanted to do that. And then music nowadays is like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 16 bars. We're going to put it over 2 8-bar phrases. We're going to implement that until it gets into an 8-bar hook. And then we're going to do that again. And then we're going to do about a 16 or 8-bar intermission between the second hook and the third verse to just change it up a little bit, to make it a little bit different. We're going to use quantization for almost everything. So everything's going to be quantized and put exactly on the note that it should be. And we're just going to sample everything, and everything's just going to sound the same. And we're not going to break any new frontiers. We're not going to do that. We're going to write songs about, guess what? They're going to write a song about love and sex. That's all they write about, love and sex. Always, always. That's it. And it's like, shocker. AI could do that. I freaking hit a button, and then my little computer program goes, doop, 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 doop. Here's your song. Here's your song. You know why? Because songs don't change. They don't get different. They're not different. They're the exact same over and over and over again. AI can't invent a new concept. Everything you listen to AI sounds like good music because that's all you've listened to for the last 20 years. Lots of free thinkers in here. You got it. That's us, free thinkers. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessings. Walk with us, be present with us. Allow us to have good conversations. If we're not to have good conversations, give us the spirit to strike down the bad ones. In Jesus' name, amen. Name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. God is good. The 25 producer credit to do what? To do what? What are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Willis? Well, listen, I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm just saying it's not unique. It's not unique by any means. Not unique by any means. All right, folks, smash the like button, share the live, do the things you need to do. I got to go get a haircut today, so I got a haircut booked. So we're roughly about a normal schedule, but I'm just going to have to take off like in a hurry when I go. So we'll probably jump into it. Probably won't do 20,000 likes, maybe 10,000. We'll do 10,000 likes for us to start taking guests. And we'll just do what we did last time. No good reason to be Muslim. Convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. Win a taco. Both are fine. Both are fine. Those are fine topics. IP, I feel like, gave me shit on Twitter. Not privately. Publicly gave me shit on Twitter about why we still got to do Islamic apologetics. It's apparently good. People leave Islam. But then I got to talk to a Muslim, and they're going to lie, and they're going to clip, and they're going to... You got to know so many things talking to Muslims, not because like they're so smart, but because they're just going to lie about things. And if you don't know the context, you got to take them at their word. You cannot offer the principal charity to Islamic apologetics. 25 producer points gives you 1 whole month of a free full package of Fruity Loop Studio. That's the thing. Everything's made with Fruity Loop Studio too. With a mouse. With a mouse. That's what I'm saying. You can't remake the old music. You can't do it. Some guy on drums lost in the feel of the music, switching time signatures because like, you know, he's not perfect. So he's like 1 second he's like 94, next second he's like 96. He's back down to 92 because he doesn't have like a metronome in his brain. Right? You can't remake that. Can't remake that. Salvation is $19.99 today as well. Yeah. Oh, I should open up the shorts chat. Abby's not here to do it. There you go. There we go. All right, folks. All right. We're just going to jump right into it today. Bro, IP got cooked on a 1v4. Hey. No, he didn't. And you thought God Logic got cooked too, and then you went up and talked to God Logic, and I literally heard you say, God Logic, you got me. And I respect it. I'm not mad at you. I think you're KH. I don't know. I just see the K, and I assumed. Fruity Loop isn't even industry standard. I don't know what's industry standard. I know a lot of people are making their songs on Fruity Loop. Freaking Soulja Boy was made on a trial of Fruity Loop. Remember that song? Soulja Boy up in it, whoa. Watch me roll. That was made on a trial version of Fruity Loop. Oh yeah, you are hey. Yeah, man, listen, I think you just don't understand the arguments. Because you went up and talked to God, and I respect him, man. I'm not insulting you. I'm not coming down on you. You went up and talked to God Logic, and he showed you. He's like, no, this is what I mean. And you're like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. You got it. Hey, when it comes to the Muslims out there, we got to say, hey is one of the best. One of the best out there. One of the best out there. I think you engage in good faith, my friend. I think you do. I mean, you drive me nuts. When you come up, it's always going to be no,
God, please, no.
But we respect the good faith. He tries. He tries. AI can't recreate the imperfections that humans put into music. Those imperfections sometimes make songs so great. Yes. Yeah, you can't do it. You can't create the human. Humans are flawed. And that's what makes like some of the best music in the world is flaws. Flaws. You know how many times when I was making music, and I'm not a good musician, but when I was making music, how many times we just did something by accident? We're like, yo, that sounded good. Let's leave that. Let's leave it. Because it was an accident. And we were like, yeah, that's great. That's great. That's great. Like, who did it? Charlie, the guy with the perfect pitch. He talked about this. I agreed with everything he said. Yeah, he talked about this. He's like, you can't recreate the imperfections. Listen to this in this song. You can hear somebody in the song getting mad in the background. They're like, frick. And he's like, you can't recreate things like that. Those moments. Now, if the music industry doesn't get better, like if it doesn't improve, if it doesn't step up its game, if it doesn't realize AI's at its ass, AI will take over. I know this because I go to Spotify playlists. When I had Spotify, I got rid of it. When I went to Spotify playlists, I try to find like AI system I try to find music playlists of like old jazzy songs or remakes of new songs into jazzy songs. And it was all AI. And I'm like, this is great. Like, listen, wow, this is amazing. And it was AI. Unless the music industry steps its shit up, steps up and starts improving, it's gonna get roasted. They're gonna get roasted. You're taking your Christian Shahada? Shahada. You can't do a Christian Shahada. I'm glad you're doing it, but you need a little bit more than that. All right, folks, you know what? Let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right into it. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
22.
Oh my goodness, that is loud. All right, man. Let me turn you down a little bit. All right, either no good reason to be Muslim or convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. What do you want to do?
I mean, I'd rather do the Muslim one, maybe.
Somebody had a cheese string last night. That was me. Leaving my trash out. I can't even yell at Abby. She's not here. Abby, you're leaving your cheese strings out. All right, what's your good reason to be a Muslim?
I mean, I don't have a good reason to be a Muslim, but I mean, you can't really tell people not to be religious and where they want to be religious, and if it's good or bad.
Yes, I can. Watch me. Don't be a Muslim. Just did it. Nothing stopped me.
Yeah, but who are you to say that?
My name is Jonathan Steele.
Yeah, okay, and?
You said I can't do it. I'm here, and I just did it.
Okay, bro. You can't have the authority of telling people that.
Yes, I can. I can't force them to stop. I can't force them to stop.
I have good authority to say that being Muslim is a bad thing.
Yeah, I can say that.
You have no authority to say that.
Yeah, what's stopping me?
I mean, if you want to have followers and tell people your
I have
followers that are going to listen to you, they're going to listen to you, that's a thing, I think it's wrong.
I have followers. What are you talking about?
Did you just listen to what I said at all?
No, you're kind of half mumbling. You just said something about if you're going to.
If you have followers who are going to listen to you, and you're going to tell them that being Muslim is not a good thing, there's no good reason to be Muslim.
Yeah,
I think that's a little fucked up.
Why?
Because who are you to say that?
Jonathan Steele.
You're annoying, huh?
I mean, is that all
you want to talk about how some people don't argue in good faith, and then this is what you do?
That is literally the best faith argument you could get. What are you talking about?
You're literally arguing in bad faith right now.
You don't know what a bad faith argument is.
Because I'm Jonathan Steele.
Yes, that's the reason. I am Jonathan Steele, which gives me just as much as authority.
You don't get to tell.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
You don't get to tell people
Let me finish. Let me finish. Ah, my brain. Anyways, gives me just as much authority as the next person to invoke my freedom of speech.
Yeah, but you're like telling people that it's not okay to be Muslim.
Yeah.
Don't you see how that's Islamophobic?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm out here Islamophobic. I think Muslim people are scary.
I don't think they're scary. Well, actually, sometimes I do. Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you down. I got you, buddy. You're Islamophobic, and you want a bunch of followers to become Islamophobic with you. So
They
you
already
all
are,
can be
man. That's why they
Christian
follow me.
and push your religion on people that don't want it at all.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think it's ultimately for the greater good.
What's your evidence to support that at all?
Well, let's start with this. Islam actively teaches and preaches.
No, your religion. Your religion. I'm not talking about Muslims anymore. Why is your religion? Why is your religion the right religion? Why is your religion the right religion?
I didn't
Why
say it
is
was
your
the right
religion?
religion. Hold on, that is a Mont.
That's what I asked you. I didn't ask you about being Muslim at all.
You asked why it's good.
I asked you why you think your religion is the one to push.
That's not
what is good about your religion.
Yeah,
that's what I asked you.
That's you said what's good about
it.
You didn't say why it's the right
one. About Muslims.
You didn't say why it's the right one. You asked why you think it's good to push.
Why is your religion the one to push? Why are you correct?
Yeah, because I think it's ultimately for the greater good.
What greater good is in Christianity? What is the message of Christianity that's the greater good?
Oh my goodness gracious! Well,
is that the topic before?
Is that the topic?
Did you hear about the Crusades?
No, hold on.
You heard about those?
Yes, I've heard about the Crusades. Who did the Christians fight? Hold on. Let me hold on. Who did the Christians fight in the Crusades?
Who? Tell me.
No. You seem to be educated on it. Who did they fight in the Crusades?
Please tell me.
The Muslims.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know why? Why did they fight the Muslims?
You want to do Crusades, bro.
Why did they fight the Muslims? Let's see if you know.
You want to do Crusades.
Why did they fight the Muslims?
You literally are proving my point right now.
These guys are so stupid. Are these guys that guy's a very intelligent, super intelligent, riveting intellectual that is going to drive a lot of people into the knowledge of truth. I didn't start the shorts. What are you talking about? Oh, I did click start the shorts, Abby, but you have to stay on the screen for it to go live. It's a silly thing. Anyways, that man is one of the most intellectual people I've ever met, and he was absolutely roasting me over an open fire, so I had to run. I had to run because he was absolutely roasting me. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
What does that matter?
Because this is an adult-only live.
Okay, I'm above 18.
Okay, God bless. You're gonna come in with an attitude like that, young man. Why don't you go sit in the corner and you take a couple breaths, relax, and when you lose the attitude, you can come back up and we can have a conversation. But not until you lose the attitude, young man. We won't be tolerating that here, right? We use nice words, right? And I know you got big feelings right now. I know you got some big feelings. And you want to express your big feelings, but I need you to just use gentle touch, okay? Gentle touch, all right? Gentle touch. Bert, stop being sneaky. I see you down there. I see you. You're being sneaky. Skedaddle. Skiddy-diddy-daddle. Get out of here. Mm-hmm. Jessel parroting guest is crazy. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm doing good. I'm 25.
All right, man. Is everybody loud enough for you guys? For some reason, it's really loud for me today, but I had to turn everybody down, so I don't know how it is for you guys. All right, man. No good reason to be Muslim or convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. Which one do you want to do?
No good reason to be Muslim.
Okay. What's your good reason?
There is no good reason. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light.
Oh, Lord. Can you not read? What does it say? What's the last sentence say?
I can read, but
what does it say?
It seems to me like you are not doing the Lord's work.
Lord, who asked you? Who asked you? Who made you the arbiter of who does the Lord's work? Who made you the arbiter? People must be mad because it's Monday. It's just always how it starts. Yeah, I was on somebody else's live the other day, and they were actually talking. Hold on.
Bro, YouTube refusing to let me donate what I want to donate. Push Islam out of the West like your ancestors did.
Thank you, Funky. I don't know why YouTube's doing that. Anyways, what was I saying? I was in somebody else's live, and they were talking. There's something about me that just like people just instantly like want to come up and just rebuke me. It's just my face, I guess. It's just my face. Don't let them call you Islamophobic. We're Islamomizyak. It's not fear. It's disgust. There's a certain aspect of fear. I'm not gonna lie. I have some fear for sure. What does that put us at? I always gotta remember the right one. Hey, I did it. Look at me. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself. All right, let's try again. Let's see. All right. All right, sir. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm over 18.
I see you still got some big feelings. You want to try one more time? Last chance. Hello, sir. How are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
For fuck's sakes, I'm 43.
Yeah, big feelings. He's got his feelings are too big right now, and he just needs a little bit of time to relax and calm down. We'll try again tomorrow. But right now his feelings are just a little bit too big. Just a little bit too big, all right? And that's fine. You're allowed to have your feelings. We all have our feelings. Okay? But right now, you're just not the place. It's not the place. So you have to come back another day when you learn how to express your feelings in a proper way and use gentle touch. Gentle touch, little guy. It's okay. Imagine being 43 and being that mad at the world right off the bat. Can I have my feelings, John? You guys can have your feelings. 43-year-old temper tantrum. Yeah. I never get why people don't want to share their age. It's private. Why? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares how old you are? I want to know your age because we don't allow children up here. Mm-hmm. What do you, oh, he knows I'm 52 years old. He's going to find me. All right. Well, we got through the fun people, I guess. And now I guess we're waiting for some actual real conversations. We're going to see if that happens. Guys, if you're watching on TikTok, you should be smashing the like button. I let you get away with not doing 20,000 likes today to start, but you still need to be smashing the like button. Right? That still needs to be happening. Okay. Usually I make it very abundant that we're not going to do anything until you guys do it, but I'm stepping up today. I know I'm going to have to leave in a hurry at the end of this, so I want to get right into it. I want to make sure you guys get your content, and we didn't deliver last time. We didn't deliver. We did not deliver. Guys, if you're watching on YT, link is in the description or pinned in the chat. Hold on. Who the heck is calling me at this hour? Freaking spam callers. Is anyone else suffering from a lag and the constant buffering with 3, 2, 4, 5G bars from forced stopped and restarted phone? It's been weeks now. Actually, you know what? My phone has been pretty slow too on its data, which is weird because I know we're not in like anywhere near the same location. I'm not bringing you back up, bro. I'm not bringing you back up. I gave you 2 shots. We don't do it. We're not doing a third. You can come back another day when you've learned how to relax your big feelings. Short chat is lucky being stupid isn't time outable. No, it's true. That's true. Also, everybody in the shorts chat, we respect you going over there.
They're sending us out to the comment section, into the trenches with no protection, where reason dies and chaos reigns. The shorts chat battlefield where nothing remains. We march into the spam and the bots. The brain rot takes everyone.
Also, could you imagine like in the world of debate and philosophy, like actual like professional, not like this blood sport debates. Could you imagine if like William Lane Craig looked at someone and it's like, looked at someone and was like, you're a coward. You're running from me. You're running. Right? Could you imagine if you read a paper by Joshua Sijuwati and the start of the paper started off with freaking whoever is a coward and doesn't want to engage me in conversation or debate? Could you imagine that? Can you imagine if that's the world we lived in? That'd be wild. He's running, you see? He's running. I'm so obnoxious, mean, rude, and a liar, and he doesn't want to talk to me, therefore he must be scared of me. He must be running.
Someone opened up their mouth today. He's running, you see.
My line of work would be so much funnier if we operated that way. Why are you running, Your Honor? Can you imagine? As you can clearly see, the prosecution is running from me. They don't want to do that. That's just going to be a blunder. That's going to be a blunder because they didn't know the metaphysical quantum metabolism of the operation of the system. There's something that Tim and Than says all the time. It's like when they try to show that people doing way too much jargon is just redundant, nonsensical. It's like they use a very complex way of saying that you eat food. So it's like, yeah, I'm just a metabolizing organism, which is like a way of just saying I eat food or something like that. I don't remember what they said. Big John Steele needs to drop the AI Love Me Tender track ASAP for these aggressive callers who clearly lack a gentle touch. Okay, Abby, if you're listening, put that on the list for a new AI song. Gentle touch song. We're gonna do it in the theme of like a child's lullaby type song, and we're gonna do like gentle touch when they start crashing out. So Abby, if you're listening, I need you to put that in your notes because I'm not gonna remember. Mrs. Steele. All right, folks, we got no one in the queue. I got you. Thank you. That's been the standard, but it's also summer. It's kind of something I always expected. Summer always slows down. So it's warmer outside. Jesus would be against AI music. Give me your argument. Let's hear it. So for those that want to join, link is in the queue. You can join the multi-guest on TikTok. You know, slow summer. We're not getting any guests. What we might do then is if it continues to be this slow throughout the summer, we might just switch straight up to only react because there's so many things I want to talk about right now. So we might switch to straight reaction content for a little while and we come back to debates at the end of the summer. We'll see how it is. Make sure Unflesh Your Vessel is already a song. We don't need it as a song. Okay, so if you're God, unflesh your vessel. Did I know that Star Wars is about to be 50 years old? That's crazy, bro. Jizia also needed in the chat about D&D. Oh yeah, we have to talk about the D&D. We're going to start doing D&D one-shots. So if you guys want to play with D&D with myself and the community, we're going to do one-shot things once a month. We haven't set it up yet, but we need you to be a part of the Discord. And what's going to happen is we'll pick like 5 people each month to sit down and play, and everybody else will be able to watch and listen to the nonsense of what we're going to do. And we'll just play a D&D campaign. You don't need to know what to do, right? We'll have pre-made characters for you if you want it, but you can also bring your character with you. You can make one yourself. Both are fine if you know how to play D&D. So Dungeons & Dragons, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a tabletop imagination game. Shake GPT is going to run it here for us. So he's going to make sure that works. You guys are pretty much set up. Awesome. Yeah, they're pretty much going to run it for us, and I'm going to use them to make content for myself. So basically, I'm using my community to make money for myself, which is very Christian of me. So we're going to do the D&D campaign. I'll play as well, But just to make sure that I get a chance to play with all you guys and make sure that we all get to know each other and you guys get to know me a little bit, because you guys get to see me. I don't get to see you and I don't get to know you. I'm going to do like a character that's not really playing the game, but like involved nonetheless. So I'll be like some sort of like person in your game, like an NPC. And then, yeah, we'll get to play every month. And you don't get to play 2 months in a row. So that way everybody gets a chance to play, kind of thing. I love it when people join the queue and then leave right away. That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite thing. Absolutely favorite. What are we at? Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good time. I feel used in an LZ sense. You should. You should. John, hit me up tonight and we can make your character. We'll see. We'll see if I'm going to hop online tonight. Abby gets back tonight, right? And so we haven't seen each other all weekend. That's not what I'm implying, but I know that's what you guys are going to think. So we'll see if I'm on tonight. Mm-hmm. That's for everybody who complains when I drink on live. Not like when Abby is gone, you come online anyways. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I love... here's the thing with me. I love... what's the word I'm looking for? Seclusion. I love being alone. It's one of my favorite things in the world. And so me and Abby are around each other all the time. I love her very much, but very, very few opportunities where I get a chance to just be strictly alone. And so this weekend I took it, right? So I didn't go online. I didn't come into the Discord. I didn't really play online games with people. I just was alone and I just soaked that in. For the weekend. Mm-hmm. Listen, another warning. If you talk about the fights, I will ban you. Do not talk about the fights. Yes, I know what happened between Ilya and Gaethje because people literally directly messaged me about it. But don't talk about the fights because I still want to watch it because I heard it was one of the best sporting events in the world and I didn't watch it last night. Do not talk about the fights. Also, don't join the queue if you don't plan on sticking around. Did I fight? No. Rule number 1 of Fight Club. Yeah, don't talk about Fight Club. That was the rule that got broke the most in that movie. That movie was my atheist Bible, by the way. Fight Club was my atheist Bible. When I was like peak nihilist, it was because of Fight Club. That's when when I was an atheist, I wasn't nihilistic until I watched Fight Club. And then I watched Fight Club and I became, I don't know, man, something switched to me. I became super nihilistic. Super nihilistic. That one guy hit the other guy? I sure hope so. John, the short chats are saying there's an issue with the join link. Does anybody hold on, I'll just try it. Up. There is an issue. Why does that keep happening? What is going on here? There actually is an issue with the join link. Why? Why, Lord, do you do this to me? Why, Lord, do you do this with me? Because I don't know what's going on. Because it says I have a guest, and then I bring it up, and then the guest is gone. And as I tried to join, it says I'm in on this side, but it doesn't say I'm in on this side, which is the side I bring people in on. Why? Why do you do this to me every time, man? It was set up perfectly. It was set up perfectly. What are you doing? Where are you? I seen you. Hits. How are you that sneaky all the time? My goodness gracious. Abby's fault probably, yeah. All right. So now I got to figure that out. My goodness gracious. Why, Lord? Why, Lord, do you do this to me? Okay, hold on. Let's try again. Go away. Okay, there it is. Click the thing. I wonder if I just refresh. Oh, there we go. I got it. I just had to hit refresh and then it started working. Crazy how that works sometimes. Crazy how that works. Jack, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Nigger, 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 nigger.
Anyways. You got me. You got me. You got me, bro. That was the person in the shorts chat complaining, eh? Complaining. Well, must have been. Must have been, ladies and gentlemen. We still don't have anyone in the queue. He really did get me. He really did. Get! And the worst thing about it is that, one last self-plug, we are also looking for DMs. Hit me up on the Discord so I can show the setup. That's based. Yeah, so he knows. He knows he's not supposed to. Because usually when he knows he's supposed to do something, he just walks over and does it. But he's doing this. Crawling. And then eventually gets there. Eventually gets there. So, little, that little shiznit. All right, where are the guests? Where are the guests? Have I been blacklisted? We usually have like a whole queue of people, man. It's been a week of this. W Bert, no, definitely not W Bert. Mods ban Gabe. I agree. Y'all saw nothing. Saw what? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Testimony is not evidence. True. Is the atheist turned Christian story anywhere? Yes, it's on my YouTube, Big John Steele, and it's in my testimony area. Again, guys, make sure you join the Discord. I'm gonna get another cup of coffee. While I'm gone, you can listen to a song about Bert, seeing as how he's being.
A cat named Bert with a fine mustache, most handsome feline in the whole darn Nash. He knocks on the door when he's locked outside, then climbs up your shoulder for a piggyback ride. Oh, Bert, everybody's friend, the love we have for you will never end with your talking ways and your cut.
I have to open the door for him so he leaves my window alone. Because I open the window because it gets hot in here. It gets really hot, even on the cooler days. So then I got to open the stupid door for him, which lets in a whole bunch of unnecessary light. I got to get ND filter for my camera so I can open my windows fully. Guest queue didn't work. He just jumped in the queue and there's no one there. They're messing with me today, man. They're messing with me. Or did it do the thing again? Let me refresh. No, it didn't do the thing again. I'm a Christian agnostic, but the affiliation to atheism too. I'm a Marxist. I'm a Christian agnostic, but I have affiliations to atheism too. I'm a Marxist. What? I'm a Christian. No, you're not. You can't be. That's like saying you're the world's tallest midget. Apparently, you can't say that now. And I heard that from a lady who wanted to unalive a child. She's like, "Don't say that word. Don't say that word because that word's offensive," as she was arguing for the unalivement of a baby. This world. Yeah, kill your children, but don't say words. Don't say words. Marxism does away with a religion. Is that the core foundation of Marxism? You can be a Christian and a Marxist. Those are, yeah. Well, you can be a Christian and a Marxist, sure, but you can't be a Christian agnostic. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Nigger.
As a grown adult. Grown adult. Hold on, we did one of these today.
Who let the trolls out? 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 A grown man tied that with his whole chest. Somebody's father is currently doing this. He practiced that in the mirror beforehand. Imagine telling your kids that story. Who let the trolls out? 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 Oh wow, that's edgy. You must be exhausting. A fully formed adult chose this as a hobby. He thought that landed, bless his little heart. Sir, this is a panel, not a cry for help. Who let the trolls out? 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 Say a troll ain't nothing if he ain't got a grievance. Or Charlie with the grievance.
I thought about using StreamYard to bring in guests, right? Not to host the live, because StreamYard for hosting is absolutely trash and it's way too expensive. Way too expensive. They have no business charging $50 a month for that service. Insane. It doesn't even offer 4K. And the quality is just trash, man. It's just trash. So anyways, do I think I'm blacklisted? No, I just think it's summer. I think it's summertime, man. I think that's all it is. That's what, and yeah, I've been banned so many times. There might be like a thing set on my account. It's confirmed. Anyways, I'm OCD, or ADD today. I'm all over the place. Let's get back to the blacklisted. I'll get there in a second. Let's talk about what do you call it? Anyways, StreamYard. It's too expensive, but I was thinking about using it to bring in guests, because you have to have a YouTube account, right? You have to have an account to come in as a guest on StreamYard. So that might be an option. And I just use it. I just put it up and use it to pull in the audio, and people can click the link and join there. So I might try that next live. So that way we don't get any of this nonsense. That might be an option where we just use it for guests only. But we'll see how it is. John, I'm operating like I put coffee right into my veins. I got more mouth tape last night, so I got a better night's sleep. I ran out of mouth tape, and I was like every night for a while, and I got more mouth tape. I know I slept better. And then what was I saying about the thing? Oh yeah. So anyways, TikTok does have a thing. They do decide, like, there is an algorithm with TikTok. It's another reason I don't really work with them. You can make the best content ever on TikTok, and if they don't want to push it, they won't push it. There's people who, like, who was it? Matt Rife. Matt Rife actually contacted TikTok because he blew up on TikTok. It's one of the reasons he got famous is because of TikTok. And then they stopped pushing his content. And so he reached out to him. He's like, what's going on? I'm putting out the same content I did before. I got this many subscribers. Nobody's, watching the things. And they literally said, well, we don't want to push stand-up comedy right now. So we're not going to push it. So they just stopped. They just decided we don't want to push stand-up comedy. So that's the thing about TikTok is, like, I've seen people get real famous. I was one of those people who got real famous off TikTok for a while. Like, I was famous on TikTok for a little while. And then all of a sudden it stopped. And I've seen that happen with other people. People, like, blow up on TikTok. They're really famous for a while, and then it stops. They're getting like thousands of viewers. They're like in their spotlight, and then it stops. It stops. It's a constant thing on TikTok. So you can never say what's going to happen, right? Right now, today, TikTok is like, nah, we're not going to push you. And then we'll come back again in 2 months, and it's going to push me. I'm going to have 500 viewers on TikTok. I've seen it happen over and over again over the years. I've been doing it long enough now to know the patterns. Bro, I'm not bringing you back up. Not today. I don't care if we have no guests. You have too many big feelings. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? I was just banned. For hate speech. I didn't even do any hate speech this time. Oh my God. Is there a day I don't get banned on TikTok? This is another reason I don't do Islamic apologetics. You can't say anything about them without it be considering hate speech. Are you freaking kidding me? Let's see what the video clip is. That means. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? I didn't get. Okay. Is a grown adult. Hold on, we did it. I got banned for the other person saying the N-word. I got banned for it. Now we got to sit and wait to see if the appeal goes through. Violation of hate speech. Really, this is the problem with like AI algorithms that look for things. Congratulations, bro. Good job. I bet he's giggling like a little child right now. Probably next to his bong. Probably next to his bong, if I'm going to guess. Twitch TV moment. Actually, you know what? I might start live streaming another. Here's a list of places we're going to start reaching out to. We're going to start putting it out on Facebook. That's another thing. I'm going to wait. We'll probably do that Wednesday, actually, because our Facebook has been blowing up, which has been good. And then maybe we'll make a Twitch stream, because I stream on X, and we've not gotten like anybody on X. Like, I don't know anybody who's watching on X. So we might switch the streams to go out to because right now we're going Twitch, we're going X, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. And TikTok has been our primary source of bringing people in. So what we might do is we might do X hangout rooms, because those things are taking off right now. We're definitely going to keep YouTube. YouTube and YouTube Shorts are staying. We're going to do that. So we're going to do maybe X hangout rooms. We're going to do Facebook. And then I don't know or where else we'll go. I don't know where else we'll go. So X hangout rooms. Any other ideas for where we might, because TikTok is awful, man. Awful. TikTok is what is, listen, everybody wants to live in a Marxist community. That go to TikTok is what it's like. TikTok is what it's like. I'm waiting to see if the appeal goes through, because that wasn't my fault. That wasn't my fault. I wonder how long is the ban for? Appealing reviews typically take up to 24 hours, but maybe longer in some cases. See, that's crazy. They have this automated machine that just hears things, bans you, and then it could take 24 hours to come back. And people don't realize that. Like, this is some people's livelihood. This is my livelihood. This is how I make a living. And they just ban, and then all of a sudden I can't bring in callers, and this is what you guys watch for. If I can't have callers and I can't have conversations, why are you guys going to watch? I got banned on TikTok because somebody else said the N-word. Somebody else said the N-word. God bless, John. Always good seeing you. Good to see you too, Jonathan. What an excellent name you have. What an excellent name. They should take 24 hours to review before they ban. I agree. It should be a list of things that happen. It shouldn't be an automatic thing. Here's what should happen. People report. It sends it out to the people. They review it, and then they decide, hey, yeah, this is bad. And then they do a bigger ban than just like a couple days. Right? But I want like an actual human to review what I'm talking about, not I mean, we have to send, everyone sends it out for a review anyway. So every time it's going to be done by a human. It's been happening. People are coming up just to curse and report a live. I hardly get these lives, but what do I get? Cora's lives and Dawa ones. Really, the primary leftist. Are we shocked that the primary leftist platform pushes these things? You can't tell me TikTok's not leftist. Every time I go into TikTok, all I see is conservative viewpoints, little to no views, leftist viewpoints, huge amount of views, and people will just be like, "Well, that's what people mostly agree with." No, because if you go over to Instagram, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. If you go over to X, it's the other way around. It's the other way around. TikTok really pushes those things, man. They push those things. And they have no problem with people lying and taking things out of context and insulting. As long as you're insulting a white Christian or a man, you're fine. You insult anybody else, it's hate speech. I didn't even insult anybody this time. Yeah, TikTok is 100% leftist propaganda. 100%. I'm still just waiting to see if the appeal goes through. If it doesn't go through in like 5 minutes, we'll go over to my backup account.
We don't watch just to see you talk to people. There are many reasons we watch, brother. I hope that troll loves the fact that I am giving this as a direct result of his actions.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Yeah, some of you guys, sure, I'll give you that. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is what I'm known for. This is how I built my platform. Is we were going to switch over to other things a long time ago, and then there's a big pushback. It's like, no, I watch you for the debates, and I was like, okay, we'll keep doing debates, because I was going to move away from debates. I was going to stop completely because of things like this. All right, well, we do got a guest in the YT. We might as well do that while we're waiting. What? Hello, how? That's actually a really funny name, by the way. It's OHMWATT. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Oh, he left. How are you going to come up with a banging name like that and then just leave? Islam and communists are the plague on humanity. They're just not honest. That's the thing. That's like, what did I see the other day that really made me mad? Oh, yeah. I saw a video of somebody absolutely shitting on Elon Musk for becoming the first trillionaire. Anyways, yeah. For becoming the first trillionaire and just being mad at him. And like the number one comment with the most likes on that was, remember he got offered the opportunity to cure starving around the world, and he said no. And people ate that comment up. That's a full lie. And they heard it, they ran with it, they ate it up. They didn't care if it was true. It was a full lie, because Elon Musk, as much as like, you know, I don't think anybody should really be a trillionaire, and I don't think he has $1 trillion he could just use. I think that's just in his company under his name. He full on said, show me how and I'll do it. He put that out there. He says, if anybody actually brings me a plan forward in which I can use to cure world hunger, he'll do it. And no one did it. Everybody just kept yelling at him. And that's what I'm saying, is they're just full of lies, man. Jumping on the donation response to Troll Wagon. Thank you. Appreciate you. We always, that's one thing we appreciate here, is when people come to take us down, other people throw money at us. It's one of the things. Troll us, because then we're going to get more money. And then I'm going to use that money to get more education and buy more books. And the more educated I get, the better I get, the better I'm going to destroy your worldviews. So keep trolling. It's our benefit. Except right now, where we can't go live. Again, we'll give it a couple minutes and we'll go on our backup. Hundreds of billions is spent every year on world hunger. I love that one comedian where he's just like straight up. He's like, stop sending them food. Move them to where the food is. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not. Why do they live where there's no food? Elon cannot cure world hunger. Fair. Justice systems and good rulers can. I actually think most of the world isn't suffering from hunger. I really don't think that's a big issue. I think right now we have a housing issue. I think that's an actual world problem. You better play the songs Don't Rob Me, Coin Toss.
Toss a coin to your grifter. Big John needs to pay his bill.
Still in review.
Big John needs to pay his
All right, let's go to the backup account.
Oh, toss a coin to your you're grifter. Big John needs to pay his bills. When a humble sage graced a common thread,
Yeah, housing is bad. I do think there's a housing issue right now. I don't think there's a food issue. I think there's a housing issue.
So Peak evolved apparently just the once they came after him with their toddler takes. The kind of argument a concussion makes. While the mouth-breathing mass is smashed on their keys, he held out his hand, you owe me for these. Toss a coin to your grifter. Big John needs to pay his bills. Big John needs to pay his bills. Oh, toss a coin to your grifter. Big John needs to pay his bills. At the edge of his will came the knuckle-dragged horde, whose combined total IQ they still can't afford. They argued the earth was probably flat. He bills by the hour for suffering that. He wades through these cretins, these absolute wastes. If you won't pay his rate, then take their place.
For the grift, thank you. People with personal vendettas against Christianity have serious authority issues. This is social media, guys. This isn't your therapy session. God bless John. Amen. Amen. A coin for the amazing work, Big John. I'm doing my best up here. Ready for the drop? I love the drop.
John needs to pay his bills. Big John needs to pay his bills. Oh, toss a coin to your grifter, a friend of humanity.
Down to 50 viewers. Clearly, I have 250 viewers. What are you talking about? Oh, you're one of those people who thinks I'm just streaming in one place. Wow. And you didn't even get it right. It's 60 viewers. That's crazy. So no, I'm at 272 viewers. 272 on YT. I dare you to go live on YT and see if you get that. It's much harder. Thank you. Thank you. The really grift is getting me to pay. Hold on.
Money, money, money.
Thank
God
you.
bless John.
Money, 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 money.
Thank you. The really grift is getting me to pay for AI meme songs, and I'm here for it. You're not wrong, actually. You're not wrong. Although AI meme songs are pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. Not gonna lie. I mean, we hit our dono goal today, and I haven't even had a conversation. So I thank you guys. You guys are too generous. Too generous. You definitely don't deserve it. Definitely don't deserve it. No, we can't do real songs because then we get. That's the problem with everybody's like, play real songs. We can't do real songs because then we get copyright stricken. And also, we can't do for like the themes and the subjects we want. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right. Well, we're live on the backup account. We'll see how that goes. Why a taco? I'm not Mexican. That was racist. You saying you have to be Mexican to enjoy a taco? Bro, I literally sent you real songs. Can you make a song for every theme? Can you make a toss a coin, a trolls, a talk about you, talking crap about my wife, testimony, running? Yeah, there's songs that specifically got my name in it, man. We got Silliest Goose. You do all those themes? You can do it. Big W don't go with only the neighbor calling. What? Big W don't go with only. Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. I think I see what you're saying. Host says idiotic things. Everybody says idiotic things. I just do it on camera. You don't think you say idiotic things? You think you walk around 24/7 just saying great things all the time? Put you on camera. Let's see what happens. See what happens. Make sure you guys smash a like. That's true. Actually, I had a funny idea for a troll song. Put it in the Discord. Yeah, there's too many themes that we got to do. And then I got to pay you guys. And it's a lot of work to make a song. I know it is. To make an actually good song, recorded, proper theme, proper lyrics, proper timing, all that it's going to take weeks for one song if you do it right. And if you're pumping out a song in a day, it's probably not a song I want. That's the thing. I can make 5 AI songs in like 2 hours. Also, John, can we start coming up since you have no guest debate whether or not water is wet? No Christians. We're sticking to that. I love you guys, but I don't want to talk to you. He used to get viewers. It's good to see him crashing out. He always lost the debates. Okay, sure. You want to come up and explain which debates I lost and how? I like to know the how.
Between this and the World Cup, I'm listening to this. I can work while listening to this, lol.
You're working at the World Cup? I'm confused. Guys, you're being way too generous today. Again, we haven't taken a single actual good conversation today. Queue is open. Why no Christians? Because you're all insufferable. You're all insufferable. Have you ever talked to a Christian? The worst people in the world to talk to. Worst people in the world to talk to. Is this a new channel? No, it's a backup one because my main one got banned because of what somebody else said. It's still under review too. Just checked. Live restricted for some audience. Your live contains scenes that some find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reasons, harassment, and bullying. What did I do? What the frick did I do this time? Live visibility restricted for 10 minutes. Your live is not eligible for recommendations and restricted in search results for the next 10 minutes because the live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility standards under the community guidelines. Reasons, harassment, and bullying. It's probably the first text. I'm going to remove that. This can't be a thing, man. How is that harassment and bullying? Stop whining and take my money, John. The donos will continue until morale improves. You're great at what you do.
Money.
Wait, so you're telling me if I keep my morale down, you're gonna keep paying me? Oh man, life sucks. These lives suck, man. I can't do it. Like, I keep getting banned. Freaking, we're not getting any callers. We're not getting viewers. This channel is dying. You look very Greek. I am very Greek. On my mother's side, or Greek. We are Greek. I carried a lot of the Greek in me. Even though it's like 2 generations removed, I still carried a lot of the Greek traits. John, did you ever get the scientific miracles argument for Islam? I've heard it, yeah. I've heard it. Will I win a MF taco or not? So I'll convince you. Yeah, I'll buy you a taco if you convince me. Sure. Yeah, come on up. Humanity is the greatest religion. What? Don't talk about the fights. Don't talk about the fights. Oh my God, I can't believe I got another. It's these people, man. These people. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to. Reverse psychology won't work on me. Wait. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out new places to send out the live stream because TikTok, man, I can't say or do anything over there. I get banned every time. So we're gonna have to figure out a new system. I'll talk to Abby when she gets home and we'll try to figure out probably, like I said, probably Facebook, probably X, and then somewhere else maybe. It's way too harsh, man. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? John Doe.
Hey.
Hi. How are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
36.
Sorry?
36.
All right, man. Why should I be Muslim or convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Is God the man?
I can't hear you, man. I don't know if you're
Okay,
using
hold
a
on. Let me
headset
take
or
out my
what's going
Bluetooth.
on.
Yeah. I got you.
Okay.
Hold on.
Have I tried Twitch? I've tried Twitch. Twitch like is really hard to get seen on. And Patreon we just left. We started our own website, bigjohnsteel.com, by the way, if you guys want to support us.
Can you hear me now?
Oh my goodness, that is way better. Yeah, that is like night and day. All right, man, which topic?
Are you a Christian?
Yeah, which topic do you want to do? Why should I be Muslim or convince me to stop worshiping Jesus?
Convince you to stop worshiping. No, win a taco.
That's not a topic. That's
okay.
That's the reward. That's
Okay.
It's like a reward.
Convince you to stop worshiping Jesus.
Okay, go ahead. What's your argument?
Jesus is a Muslim. You can't worship a man. Jesus said that the righteous, the meek shall inherit the earth in Matthew 5:5. He quotes this in Psalms 37:11. That the meek shall inherit the earth. It's also in Psalms 37:29 that the righteous shall inherit the earth. And God said in the Quran, chapter 21, verse 105, that he wrote in the Psalms that the righteous shall inherit the earth.
I'm waiting for an argument, man.
To be with Jesus and to inherit the earth with him, you would need to be righteous and believing that he's God. Well, when he comes back, if you're a righteous person and you'll know it's him, you'll believe that he's not God and that he's the Messiah sent by God. Have you read the Gospel of Barnabas?
Still waiting for an argument.
Okay, have you read the Gospel of Barnabas?
Why would I read a Gnostic text?
Because it's still mentioned as an apocryphal, and Barnabas was a disciple of Jesus in Acts 4:36, called son of encouragement.
Yeah, so why should I read a Gnostic text?
You have to think about it like this. Why would the church go so heavily to exile any Christian who had that doctrine or spread it?
Yeah, because it was a forgery, and we know it was a forgery because of things like automatic congruence.
I get what you're saying about it coming later.
You don't know what an automatic congruence is.
No, I said I get what you're saying about it coming later.
That's not what I said. I didn't talk about it coming later. I said it's just a forgery because of automatic congruence.
What's that?
Yeah, they get names wrong. So there's a horrible census of names. It actually only gets two names that are correct that you would see in Second Temple Judea, which would be Jesus and Judas.
Who was Barnabas then?
Inside the text, the people that they were talking about.
But he's mentioned in Acts 4:36 as Hosea of the Levites, son of encouragement.
In Barnabas. In Acts, they get names correct.
So, yeah, I don't get you, man.
Anyways,
sorry.
I'm not convinced.
But have you read it? That was my question.
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've read the Gnostic texts. I know I read quite a few of them. I don't remember Barnabas was on the list.
You should read it, man. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, man. I was trying to search about Jesus a lot, I just want to see from the Christian side. Yeah, man, if it sounds boring to you, it's all good. You believe what you believe, I believe what I believe. But, may God guide us on the straight path. I got nothing against you, bro.
Okay, again, I'm not convinced.
I can't convince you. Only God could convince you.
Then why are you up here?
Because I'm going to try my best and spread the message and the true
But if
teachings.
only God can convince us, why are you trying to convince me?
You still have free will. God guides whom he wills.
Somebody said they could barely hear me. Is that for everybody or just that person? So again, why are you up here if you say God is the one that convinces me?
Of course, but we still have free will.
What do you mean, of course? What does of course mean?
You believe in God's decree, don't you?
No, there's a question I'm asking you that you're not answering.
I know, but do you believe in God's decree?
No. Why are you trying to convince me if only God can convince me?
Yeah, well, I'm just a warner.
What's 2 + 2?
3.
Power off.
Why are you making that face? How many gods do you believe in? How many gods died on the cross? Cat got your tongue? You look like, what's his name? What's that guy name? The funny guy. What's his name, bro? And Liar Liar, what's his name? Jim Carrey. Yeah, you look like Jim Carrey. They should make a Liar Liar too. You'd be good in it. Liar Liar. Oh, I could show you another reason why 600.
I don't care if there's no one else in the guest list. I don't even care. Oh my God.
Gospel of Barnabas says Muhammad is the Messiah, not Jesus. It's obviously a forgery from after Islam began. Only ever written in Middle Age Italian.
Oh yeah, I was mixing up Barnabas and Judas. Yeah, my bad. My bad. Let's see if my ban has been lifted. Let's see. Nope, not yet. Still under review. Still under review. So now we have to set up a system where we keep people on mute, where I can hear them and you can't hear them, until we know what kind of person they're going to be. Then we have to set up that kind of system. People ruin it for everybody. That's the reason we don't have cameras on, is because people ruin that for everybody. It's a reason, like, you know, we're gonna have to set up this audio system. It's because people ruin it for everybody. It's the best way. I can't set it up right now because I know what I have to do to set it up, and it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work. So I got to program a button into my Stream Deck. I'm going to have to get a new one of these Stream Decks because this one's not enough buttons. So I actually am have to get invest in that new one now. So I have to program a button into the Stream Deck where I click it, mutes them for everybody, but I can hear them, and then click it and it makes them live for you guys. The Holy Spirit's jamming my signal. Yeah, you got me, bro. Yeah, no cameras after Little John flashing us too many times. That's not the reason we don't do no cameras. Those that know. Those that know why we don't do cameras. Okay, what? Oh, okay, so why do those church walls on O. Bronson, also White House, White Blunt? What? What are you talking about? The trolls will just adapt, wait longer before dropping N-bombs. Yep, but we have to take as many precautions as we can. Take as many precautions as we can. That's what we'll have to do. Ugh. Not tech demons today. Today is just demons. Today is just demons. It shouldn't take this long for a review to go through. Shouldn't take, if it could happen that quickly, shouldn't take that long for a review. That is just unacceptable. People ruin it for everybody. It's the reason John needs a slur and slander jar. Yeah. Smash the like button, guys. You got a bot lobby? I don't think I have a bot lobby. What is a bot lobby? Actually, I don't know what that is. What is a bot lobby? Maybe I do. Proof that mean people are just miserable people and just want to bring everybody down. I've only ever reported channels for some crazy. I've reported some channels before, but they were doing some crazy things, like crazy things. If you convert, we'll review 72 olives. What does that mean? You can set up a delay, but the problem isn't YouTube. YouTube's not banning me. TikTok is banning me. That's the problem. And it's TikTok's got its own app, not OBS. That's the problem. What's the best fasting? Don't eat. Oh, my viewers are bots? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't set it up. John needs new teeth. You're not wrong. They're only stained, though, because of the coffee. My teeth are actually pretty white when I don't drink coffee. But they're pretty jacked up. They're pretty messed up, not gonna lie. My favorite snack? Favorite's chocolate. I haven't had chocolate in so long. I'm almost at my goal for weight right now. Just there. I got 2 more pounds left and I'm done. 2 pounds left and I'm done. Dentists are expensive, man. Dentists are expensive. Much better than your teeth. I'll take that. When's Abby coming back? She'll be back in like 3 hours. She'll be back. 3 hours. She'll be back. Still in review, man. That's crazy. I'm a bot. News to me. But the burger was pretty. Hey, John. He's running, please. Sure. I mean, we got nothing else to do.
Someone opened up their mouth today. He's running, you see.
Best fasting is ice. Take a Ozempic. That kind of ruins the point of the fast.
Little something to say. He's running, you see.
You can go to a dentist in Mexico. It's way cheaper. Yeah, but I'd have to go to Mexico.
Not a sword. He's running, you see.
We're actually gonna. I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go. I forget what it is. There's a country where you can go and like stay in a hotel and they do all your medicals and everything there and you just stay there. I'm trying to remember the name of the country. We're gonna do that and try to solve all my health issues and teeth issues and just do it all in one go.
Just syllables floating, but John disagrees. He's running, you'll see.
I did see that. I'm gonna do a video on that. So hold on. I'm going to do a video on this because I have a lot of thoughts. Have I seen the Andrew Wilson and JP discussion about bridging the gap with EO, Protestant, and Catholic, a cross-examination style debate? Yes. Yeah, and that's something that's been on my mind a lot lately. Yes, it is Turkey. You guys are right. Thank you. I plan to do that. And I am going to make a video on that because I have my 2 cents to say about it as well. Cleared the cache and fixed the problem of the buffering. There you go. There you go. Too many internet scholars of Islam. I mean, not really. I can't get a single one up. And we're still banned on the main account. Today is going to be an interesting live. If we don't start getting guests soon, we're going to just go into reaction content here soon. I'm going to give it maybe 15, 20 more minutes. And nothing changes. We're just going to end it on TikTok. And we'll go over and start doing some reaction stuff. Jay Dyer is quitting debating just when David Wood is ready to debate him. Jay Dyer just put out... I just listened to it, actually. I put it on in the background when I took a shower today. I listened to Jay Dyer's response to it. I think it was a reasonable response. I think both guys are actually being pretty reasonable and they just hate each other. I think both their positions are reasonable and they're justified to think what they think. And if they just sat down and actually talked with each other, I think a lot of problems would be solved. That's why I think that they shouldn't debate. I think they should just do a live stream, no debate, no topic, and just yap. Talk about the Orthodox. I think that's what should happen. I think the two of them should just yap. Do I have a blocked septum? My breathing does seem labored because, as you can see, my nose is jacked up. So this side is more closed off. So it's harder to breathe than this side, but I'm also a little bit sick, so that might be it. I apologize if you guys are listening to me breathe in the mic. Maybe the mic is too sensitive and I should turn it down. Maybe I should turn the gain down and the volume up for you guys. Let me know if the breathing is too much. I'd fix that for you guys. Jay already had a Yap stream with David and Rivda months ago. Did they? Did they? Do a fight breakdown. I haven't watched the fight yet. And also, again, fair warning, don't tell me about the fights because I want to watch it. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm 28. I'm doing okay. How about yourself?
Oh, we're having a day, but we'll see. We'll see. So topics are why should I be Muslim or convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. What do you want to do?
Is the screen in like 9 squares or is it just me?
What does that mean?
Like I see you in like a small like box and like there's 9 squares.
9 squares.
Oh, it's probably my phone then. Yeah,
I just
it
checked.
happened on another
It's
live as well. What's the prompt is why should you be Muslim?
Yeah. So first, there's two topics. I'll let you can pick. Right. The first topic is why should I be a Muslim. The second topic is you can convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. Both are fine, whichever one you want to do.
Okay. I mean the first one kind of bleeds into the second one. But why do you worship Jesus? Like, what does worship entail?
Yeah. So that's me taking an affirmative, right? So I do worship Jesus. You don't need to know the reasons why for you to tell me why I shouldn't. Because it could be just the fact. Like, let me explain what I mean. Let's say I sneezed in the mirror, and in the sneeze, like in the mirror, I saw a face of Jesus's face. And so therefore I started worshiping him and following him. Now that would be a horrible justification to say it's true, but that wouldn't mean I'm wrong.
Okay, fair enough. I guess the question should be, how do you worship Jesus?
I don't think that's relevant to the topic.
Because worship kind of entails you're asking or like you're praising or following commandments. And like if Jesus never taught that, then you're going against what Jesus taught, I guess.
Yeah, again, it's not relevant, the mechanism in which I worship. The question here is whether or not I should.
Okay. I mean, if Jesus worshipped the Father alone, then I guess that's like the son of Jesus, or like following what he taught.
Even if it was the case that Jesus worshipped the Father alone, why does it follow that I shouldn't worship Jesus?
Because if you want to be like a true follower of Christ, like you got to follow Christ, innit?
So should I wear robes and sandals?
I mean, that's like, quite a literal following.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, just because Jesus does X doesn't mean I have to do X, right? That's not what it means to follow Jesus. To follow Jesus doesn't mean you copy and do everything exactly the way he does. To follow Jesus means to follow his ethical system that he set forward.
Okay.
Also his religious system.
I hear that. Well, that was my only argument, to be honest. He worshipped the Father alone in that regard. Second one, why should you be Muslim, or what's the prompt?
Yeah, the first one is why should I be a Muslim, right? And then the second one is why should I stop worshiping Jesus?
Okay, why should you be a Muslim? Because all the previous prophets are Muslim. Yahweh revealed the Quran, and the previous scriptures have been changed.
Okay, how do you know all the previous prophets are Muslim?
It's in continuity with the message of the Quran, and the Quran is in continuity with the previous scripture.
Yeah, so that's very vague. What do you mean by that?
The definition of a Muslim would be to worship the Father alone, to submit to one
The Father?
God, and that's all. Oh, yeah, the objective being that is referred to as the Father and referred to as Allah, yeah.
Okay, so God alone, because you guys aren't allowed to call him Father, right?
Yeah, I prefer to use the Father when I'm speaking to Christians, though, because they reference God as Yahweh, so people get confused when I say God. But yeah, the creator alone.
I appreciate that, but I feel like I don't think you're being dishonest. I just think the mentality behind it's a little dishonest, because if I converted to Islam, I would have to reject that. So you're kind of setting an understanding that if I can hold to God being my father, but when I come to Islam, that is shirk. You're not allowed to do that.
To an extent, like he is a father in a sense. I don't think he's necessarily completely abrogated, is more that there's not an ontological Son of God. That's more the abrogation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not willing to argue that. I think it's irrelevant to the point. But anyway, so how do you know that
Yeah, that's cool. That's
the
cool.
previous prophets are in continuity?
How do we know that?
Yeah.
Without using previous scripture or with using previous scripture?
Whatever method you used. How did you come to the conclusion that Muhammad's in continuity with the previous prophets?
I mean, there's quite a few prophecies. There's quite a few.
Well, prophecies is in continuity.
Well, I would say Isaiah 42, Deuteronomy 18:18, Daniel 2, I think.
Well, again, those are prophecies, not continuity. So are you switching the argument? Also, Cherry's love story. If you don't stop with the caps, I'm going to ban you. You argue, but remove the caps, please. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. So you're looking for an argument, like a proper like premise, and
well, it can be informal. But what I'm saying is, you said it's in continuity, right? Which means that we see consistency between them, right? They're all preaching the same thing. And then you brought up prophecy. So it's like, we would call that a Mott and Bailey, right? You set it up with the Mott, or set it up with the Bailey. You say, hey, it's in continuity, but then you switch to the Mott, which is prophecy.
Okay, continuity is not necessarily prophecy as well. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
I think continuity is like a more fun kind of conversation, or like interesting conversation, because I feel like Yahweh in the previous scripture is the same Yahweh that's in the Quran, because we affirm the Torah and we affirm the Injil, and Yahweh revealed himself in the Torah. So if it is the same God, then that would mean that Yahweh revealed the Quran, and is more continuity in the sense of the same objective creator, how he reveals himself in the previous scriptures, how he reveals himself in the Quran.
Yeah, you're just kind of repeating like it's in continuity. How do you come to the conclusion that it's continuity, right? Just a singular God and creator of the universe is very vague. Because here's the thing, you're kind of using like the etymology of Muslim, which means that, to be a Muslim is to be the worshiper of the one true God. And if that's the etymology that we're going to use, then yeah, sure, they're all Muslim. But then I could just throw that back at you and say, well, do you follow Jesus? And you'd say yes, because he's a prophet. And I'd say, well, then you're a Christian. And I don't think you would accept that.
I mean, every Christian is 75% Muslim to an extent. And we follow the same premise as well, in the sense that there's a lot of truth to who the Messiah is, and there is a divine nature to the Messiah.
Yeah, but I feel like that's irrelevant to what I said. You understand my objection, right?
Yeah, you're asking for more like kind of expansion on how the continuity argument actually holds ground.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I've never actually been like kind of pressed on this. We normally kind of like move the conversation to like a different goalpost. But it's interesting. How would you go about like kind of like actually proving continuity without like having to?
I would never use a continuity argument. I think it's a terrible argument. But who am I to say if you presented it and actually showed it works, then yeah, it worked. I wouldn't use a continuity argument. Because I can write a book right now. I could sit down and I could write a whole book that is in continuity, right? I could read the whole Bible. I could write a book that perfectly lines up with it, doesn't contradict it. That doesn't mean I'm a prophet of God.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking about, like I was playing devil's advocate, like mentally I was thinking, you can just like say certain things that line up, and then how would you kind of, it's interesting. I mean, and then I would kind of go to Warwick as well. Like he was a learned scholar of the Torah and the Gospels.
Who?
And then Warwick, I think Muhammad's cousin or uncle, was it his wife's cousin, I believe. And he was like very learned in the scripture, and he knew about the Talmud, the Torah, and the Injil as well.
Okay, what about
him? So he understood that there was a prophet to be revealed. And after Muhammad gave a description of what he experienced, then he came to the conclusion that it was the same Namas that was revealed to Moses. So there wasn't necessarily a conflict in his understanding or his prophet as well.
Okay, so your argument is there is X individual who is convinced that Muhammad is the prophet, therefore I should be convinced that Muhammad's the prophet?
It's more proven that someone who is learned in the previous scripture also recognized the final messenger.
Yeah, but that is the
Um,
argument you're making. You're saying there's X individual that believed that Muhammad's a prophet, who understood the scripture, therefore I should believe Muhammad's a prophet. The problem with that is I can point at a whole bunch of other individuals, X, Y, Z, P, L, M, whatever, right, of individuals who are learned in the scripture and deny him as a prophet.
yeah, that's true as well. Okay, so you need something like more concrete that can't have a rebuttal to it. I mean, instead of like kind of arguments, I could kind of like show reasons for like the benefits of being a Muslim, because obviously the Christian paradigm and the Christian narrative is showing if you follow Jesus then you'll be saved, you get heaven. There's certain benefits as well, like you get the Holy Spirit, like wisdom and knowledge, and certain things get fixed in your life as well.
Sure.
In terms of like Deuteronomy and like the laws of Deuteronomy.
Yeah, I can even grant
But,
that. I could grant to you that following Islam actually has the highest amount of benefits out of any religion. It still wouldn't make it true.
It wouldn't make it true.
Yeah. For example, let me give you like a reductio here. Like, so for example, me, right, taking a whole bunch of, I'm going to be very careful with my words because I'm going to get banned a lot here, a whole lot of indentured servants that did not willingly choose to be my indentured servant, right, and forcing them to work for me, and then conquering countries and taking all their money and taking all their people is going to have a huge amount of benefits for me. That doesn't mean it's right, or nor should I do it.
Oh, from like a moral high ground.
Well, not even a moral perspective. It just doesn't, just because something has benefit does not mean it is something that is true or you ought do.
Yeah, that's true. There were countries that weren't necessarily on truth, and they did conquer other countries, or like kind of movements that yeah, I do agree with that. Okay. I think it's more like kind of from like an esoteric lens. It's just kind of
What do you mean by esoteric?
It cements a person in reality from a more grounded perspective compared to other religions and other kind of ways of life. Because if the Quran is what it claims to be, then that means it's the written logos, or like the verbatim speech of God, and everything that is being said is what is and how it is. So when it comes to angels, when it comes to jinns, when it comes to the afterlife, when it comes to this reality, and it gives a person grounding and anchoring in reality that other religions don't necessarily give.
Yeah, that's kind of like assuming it's true, right? I agree with you. If Islam is true, then it would do that, but you haven't proven to me it's true yet.
Well, if it was to be true, then it obviously it makes quite a lot of claims as well, and then those claims that's making, that would also be a means of proving that is true and the right path. So are you approaching it from like a atheist? Are you approaching it as a Christian?
Well, I'm a Christian, but I approach even my Christianity from an atheistic perspective.
Okay. Well, we can both agree that there is a ultimate creator.
Yeah, but why do you believe that? Because I don't believe it for the same reasons you do. The reason I believe in an ultimate creator is because of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Here's the problem. If Jesus Christ died and resurrected, it disproves Islam. So you can't really use my justification to conclude that there is an ultimate creator.
I don't necessarily think that would be the reason for why Christians believe in God. I would say that Genesis would actually...
I'm not talking about other Christians. I'm talking about me. Like I said, I approach it from an atheistic perspective. So I'm what you call an evidentialist, right? I'm not a presuppositionalist, which is what a lot of Christians online are presuppositionalists, which they presuppose God and then they say this is the world we'd expect to see if God existed, right? So this would be like the Kalam cosmological arguments. This would be like what's the other one? The argument of motion, the transcendental argument for God. I'm an evidentialist, which means I look at all the evidence that we have in the world and say that is what you would see if God existed. And so the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, for me, justifies God's existence. But the problem is if it's true that Jesus Christ died and resurrected, then by necessity, Islam is false.
I don't think Christianity being true actually makes Islam false. I don't think that is the case, because there's a lot of cohesion between the paradigms, and I feel like when it comes to the resurrection of Jesus, it doesn't necessarily go against it or contradict it. I feel like there's different interpretations.
It says that he wasn't crucified; it was only made to look that way.
Yeah, it was made to appear so.
Yeah, that's a contradiction.
Not necessarily, like it's not a P and not P. Like there was a man who was.
Yeah, I'll explain how it's proposition negation. I don't mean to cut you off, but it's very clear.
Sorry.
You have proposition, Jesus was crucified. You have negation, Jesus was not crucified. It's a P and not P.
But if it was made to appear so, does that negate the historical testimonies for witnessing a figure that looks like Jesus that was crucified?
Yeah, so it wouldn't go against the evidence. That's the difference. It is a contradiction in the truest sense. It's a proposition and negation. But if it was the case that it was only made to look that way, then the evidence wouldn't go against it. That's the thing. The problem is I have no reason or justification to believe that Muhammad's claim that it was only made to look that way is true.
Well, if Angel Gabriel was revealing that information and it was Yahweh that is speaking within the Quran, then I feel like that is quite a strong justification.
That's if. I haven't been convinced of that.
I mean, as a Christian, do you hold to perfect preservation of the Bible?
No.
So then, if the Bible isn't perfectly preserved and is not necessarily is not necessarily easy to differentiate between what has been preserved and what hasn't been preserved, wouldn't it then logically make sense for Yahweh to reveal a perfectly preserved book that not only affirms but also corrects what has been changed?
That just sounds like something you want to happen. That doesn't sound like a logical necessity.
I think it's a super rational and reasonable.
Something that's desirable doesn't mean rational and reasonable, right? We would desire that God, here's the thing. I could just simply move the goalpost forward. I could say, okay, well, listen, if God is just writing books and people are arguing about these books all the time, would it not just make more sense that God would just reveal himself in the sky and say, here I am?
Yeah, but then they wouldn't, that would kind of, I mean, he can do that. Like God can do all things, but in his divine wisdom, he reveals himself in ways that have ambiguity. And I feel like
sure, that's fine, but it kind of goes against your argument though, because you're saying he should reveal a perfectly preserved book, right? I could just say, well, he should reveal himself in the sky. Well, you did kind of say it was necessary.
I'm saying it just makes logical sense that if the Bible isn't perfectly preserved, then it makes sense that Yahweh reveals a book that is perfectly preserved to confirm and correct what was not preserved.
Okay, if people are arguing over a book, it makes sense that Yahweh would just reveal himself in the sky. You see the issue, right?
But then that goes against the whole reason for why we're here. I think Christians have a different reason for why we're here, but
it wouldn't go against the Islamic reason because you guys all believe that this is a test. You could still do the test.
Yeah, but then if God revealed himself, then you wouldn't necessarily, as in if he reveals himself to everybody in the whole of existence, then it wouldn't necessarily be as much of a test because everybody has witnessed God, and then there wouldn't be the rankings of paradise and heaven and hell, and there wouldn't be the differentiation between good and bad.
The problem is that Islam holds a predestined point of view. So it makes zero difference if he revealed himself or not, because those who are predestined to accept him will accept him, and those who are not will not. For it says in the Quran that only those that Allah has led can have knowledge of him.
Yeah, that's true. The people who have been accepted and like kind of given the ability to, they're the ones who are able. Because, for instance, if you're like a practicing devout Muslim, like it's only by the will of God that you're even able to pray and like do zikr and like, you know,
Right.
read the Quran and like do good works. Like it's only by God's command.
Right. So yeah, then your whole argument about like he should give us a perfectly preserved book is ad hoc. It's arbitrary.
Not necessarily. I feel like it like the free will or like the predestination argument doesn't negate free will. It doesn't. I mean, the fact that it's been predestined.
Yeah, it's not predestined. It's the fact that I could simply move it forward. You say you should give us a perfectly preserved book. Why not give us a perfectly preserved movie? Why not give us a perfectly preserved revelation of him in the sky? Why not give us perfectly preserved just angels walking around telling us about him? Like we could just move this standard to any standard, and it's just arbitrary. You guys just put it at a perfectly preserved book. Why?
You need a book to correct a book, innit?
You don't need a book to correct a book. You can correct the book with a movie.
Yeah, but like that was a mode of like revelation, I guess.
Okay, so why is there not a revelation right now with a movie? Now that movies are out, why didn't you just give us a perfectly preserved movie? That would make more sense. Then you could witness, right? Anybody who questions Allah's existence, put on the movie and you could see him.
Yeah, probably someone needs to be divinely inspired to create that movie with the premise of the Quran and the understanding of the Bible as well.
Right. So I'm just saying this, a perfectly preserved book is just arbitrary. There's no reason we would expect to see God give us a perfectly preserved book.
I mean, if we go into the like if it has been preserved or not preserved, I feel like that in itself is a miracle. But then and then like the miracle element of things as well, that kind of proves the legitimacy of the claim.
Yeah, how does something being preserved prove it's a miracle?
As in, have you heard that hadith where it says that I think it was just before Uthman that everybody was reciting a certain surah with like 100 and something verses, and the whole tribe, the whole nation forgot it. Like that's a miracle. It's like it's not just one person forgot bits of it and then other person like forgot like another bit of it. Everybody systematically like forgot a whole portion of the Quran. And that's like that's a miracle.
Again, where's the miracle here? Because again, is it logically possible that a human could perfectly preserve a book?
Yeah, it's logically possible.
Okay, so then how do we differentiate between God did it versus a human did it?
I mean, if everybody's remembered or memorized this hypothetical book, and then everybody who's memorized it just suddenly forgets a portion of it without any
well, all I have is a hadith that comes hundreds of years later claiming that they forgot a portion of it.
Yeah, but we have to internally critique it, and if we're internally critiquing Islam, then we take the hadith or Sahih hadith on the same.
I'm not doing an internal critique. I'm doing an external critique. I'm not granting your worldview and finding contradictions.
So then you have to throw the hadith under the bus and throw the Quran under the bus as well.
Yeah, so I take the historical method, right? Any document that's written hundreds of years, and we're not talking about when we find a manuscript of it, we're talking about when the actual pen to paper was done. Any document that's written hundreds of years after a specific person or event is thrown away from the historical method. Unless you can give me a really good reason why I should trust and believe in the hadith, I'm going to pretty much reject all of them.
As a Muslim, I would say it's on the same, like, you know, if I was speaking to another Muslim and they were Quran only, I would say like, yo, you can't take Quran because you have to take Hadith Qudsi as well. But then for a non-Muslim who's critiquing Islam, I think you'd have to go into the fact that nobody else in history has ever been narrated or preserved, or his life has been documented in the way that Muhammad's was. So
Muhammad's actually wasn't documented that well. It was terribly documented. The first actual biography we get of Muhammad is 100 years after he lived.
Well, yeah, that's like obviously the written accounts, but the accounts were still testimonies and they were still being spoken about. The same way when Jesus was around, like people were speaking about what he spoke about, and he said a lot more things outside of the Gospels.
The earliest documentation we have of Jesus after is plus 30, not 100. Like if we're talking biography standard, like for something to be considered like a good historical source, it has to be contemporary. It has to be within the lifetime of the person. We don't have that. We don't have that with Muhammad.
But then you have the chain of narrations and the how do you say it? Seeing who is as in each person has got like their like different tiers, and if there's like a weak chain, then that hadith is like rejected as well, or is named as da'if.
What does this even mean?
That whole system.
Also, you got feedback now all of a sudden with me. I don't know if like what happened. But yeah, I don't know what this means, right? So the earliest time that a hadith is penned to paper is 200 years after Muhammad, right? Muhammad dies around 600. The first hadith comes around 800. It's like 790 something. So it's about 200 years after. Why should I trust this source?
Because we have the chain of narrations. We have each person accounted for.
What is chain of narration mean? What does that mean?
Can I say apostolic succession, or is that the wrong word?
Well, I don't know what you mean by it, right? And I don't really hold apostolic succession to be a great source of information either, but...
Well, if he was a final messenger and if it was the final revelation, then these people who were at the time of Muhammad, they were also in a state of how do you say it? Like they were disciples of the final messenger, and we can they're just trustworthy and reliable. I had a lot more to say on that, but yeah.
The hadith, pen to paper hadith are not followers of Muhammad. They're claimed to come from Muhammad's followers, but we have no clue to confirm. We have no way of confirming that. We have no way of knowing. Right? We have Islamic scholars who have actually thrown away, I forget who it was, chat will remind me who it was. We have an Islamic scholar who has gone on record and stated that the hadith science is nonsense and nobody holds to it in scholarship.
Oh, you're talking about Yasir Qadhi or someone?
I don't remember his name.
No, that's nonsense. Whoever's saying that nonsense is nonsense.
Okay, well then that's fine. Listen, just because they say it doesn't mean it's true, but you got to show me why I should hold to like hadith science. Yasir Qadhi?
I think so. But you're looking for like concrete evidence to prove why hadith is sahih. I think it's a very like kind of like there's ambiguity in faith for a reason. Like the same way there's ambiguity in Christianity. Like a lot of it is faith dependent, because you can look at certain things and pull things apart and like kind of play polemics with like certain bits of religion, but really there is like a faith element at the end of the day.
Sure.
And the ambiguity is there for a reason. Like for instance, with the there's certain things where like people can look at it and say, oh, this can't be from God, but then if you like, for instance, the aorta being and the poison, but then the correlation isn't necessarily there. Like it's it's there for a reason. It's there so that those who want to argue against it, they have a premise to argue against it. But then those who actually see reason and sound logic, and they can see the truth in it.
They're always mowing the lawn when I'm live. Okay, so here's the thing. Sure, I agree there's certain aspects I have to take on faith. Even as a Christian, there's some things I have to take on faith. But we're talking about a justification here, right? A reason to believe it's true. If I have a reason to believe that Christianity is true, and the reason I do is because of the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, then I have a reason to have faith in certain things. So, for example, the eschatological views that Jesus promises, right? I can't prove that Jesus is actually going to come back again. I can't do that. There's no concrete way for me to do that. I take that on faith because he died and resurrected off of the cross. So I'm asking for you is what is the because Islam is true, I believe in the hadith?
For me personally, like outside of argumentation and outside of like giving a claim, I feel like for me it makes a lot of sense in the sense where God consciousness is the highest level of consciousness, and the one who was closest Noah the prophet went to the seventh heaven the way that Muhammad went to the seventh heaven. Like even Angel Gabriel,
How do we know he went to the
couldn't go
seventh
to that
heaven?
distance. We have to do an internal critique and take the Sahih Hadith.
Well, it's not an internal critique. I think you're misunderstanding what internal critique. Internal critique is when we take the worldview. So we assume the worldview is true, and then we work backwards and see if there's a contradiction. That's an internal critique. We're not doing an internal critique. We're doing external, which means we're looking at why is it true in the first place. So for me to say that Islam is true because he went to the seventh heaven, well, I need to know how we know he went to the seventh heaven.
I mean, we don't have any other information outside of the Hadith, but that's like this is the point I'm saying. Like, no other prophet or no other person who like speaks about enlightenment or speaks about divine communion like has ever like reached that point. And in that moment he spoke to God. God gave him the 5 daily prayers. Well, it was 50 and then 15 and then 5.
Well, he didn't actually talk to Allah on that.
You don't think he spoke to Allah?
No, you're talking about the night something. What was it called? He never actually directly talks to Allah.
Obviously there was a few veils of light that was between him and God, but it was a direct communication.
No, but it's aside the point. Again, I could write a book right now that says that I went to the 8th heaven. That doesn't mean it's true. Night journey. Thank you guys. The night journey.
Fair enough. Well, it is experiential and subjective, and
I don't think it is subjective. I think it's objectively false.
No, I mean, like once you enter into Islam, like you feel God's presence. You know.
What's it feel like?
Like just this overwhelming sense of peace, and the more you dive into the rituals and the practices and like the daily routines.
Have you ever heard of a K-hole?
Yeah, but that's like you got to inject some.
Yeah, but But I'm just showing you, right? You've heard of a K-hole, right? So if somebody enters into a K-hole, they're going to feel an overwhelming amount of peace. That doesn't mean it's true.
Okay, yeah, but that's like in a control setting or in a controlled environment, and it takes place over a couple of hours. I'm saying as a systematic ritual and a routine, you're able to not only cleanse your heart, cleanse your body, cleanse your soul.
Well, that's
through
kind of begging the question that's being cleansed in the first place. But let me just put it like this, right? Like we could break it down in like an arithmetic. If person does X, right, then if person does X and they feel Y, then it's true. That's basically what you're saying here, right? If you do Islam, you will feel peace, therefore it's true. Well, I can simply say, if we do K-hole, and I'm just being specific with my words, you will feel peace, therefore it's true. Right? You see how that doesn't work?
With K, I'm assuming you're talking about...
Don't say the word, I don't want to get banned. But we're talking about taking a substance that you shouldn't take.
Okay, I just want to like clarify. All right, it's cool. Yeah. But if Islam is true, then that would mean that the previous prophets also practiced the practices that are mentioned in the Quran and in the
previous
Sunnah.
Prophets did not feel peace. Have you read David's Psalms? The last thing he felt was peace.
I haven't fully read them. I mean, I know Psalms 22, but like,
I mean, even Muhammad didn't feel peace. He claimed to be possessed at one point, tried to throw himself off of a mountain.
Well, yeah, but like the Comforter, like the Paracletos, like he indwells a person who is close to God. And I feel like when your iman raises, when you are in a state of communing with the Father, or when you're in
Do you need to
that,
comfort
ritual.
someone that's in peace?
Well, a person in peace is already in comfort, like they're comforted.
Yeah, so the comforter wouldn't make any sense, would it?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that the Holy Spirit is in the Quran and in the Sunnah as well, and that's how you truly connect to God. Like obviously through Christianity, you have that belief system, and you follow what is taught in the Bible, and it's through reading the scriptures that you're able to bring more Holy Spirit into your life. But there's a real systematic process of not only cleansing the heart, but also creating a energetic environment within yourself and within your spirit that aligns you with the Creator, and it's a spiritual state that you can't receive from
now you're
other
just
traditions.
telling me you're literally doing what the Protestant Christians do all the time, is just saying the Holy Spirit told me so.
Oh no, not even. I've looked into Buddhism. I've looked into like other traditions and like all that kind of stuff, like funky, like whatever. But like when it comes to like the enlightenment of a human being, is truly found within the message of Muhammad, because he was the most God conscious, I would say. Obviously,
Okay.
there's an argument for Jesus.
Well,
but
I can't
Jesus is
argue.
going
I
to
can't
follow.
argue against your feelings, man. So I don't know where we go from here.
Oh no, it's very like kind of systematic in the sense where he had a holistic approach to not only reaching alignment but also maintaining alignment, because in the Christian paradigm you don't
Again,
necessarily
this
have.
is all just feelings.
No, it's not feelings. It's very
Enlightenment
logical.
is a feeling. You just feel like you've enlightened yourself.
No, it's not.
Okay, well,
It's
if
a
it's not a
biological state that
feeling,
you
if it's
step
not a
into.
feeling, then you should objectively be able to give me a standard of what enlightenment is and how you come to the conclusion it's true.
Is when you reach not only homeostasis but when you reach efficiency within your vehicle.
Yeah, that's like a feeling. What do you mean by that? What does that mean?
No, like the prophets were them like not only spiritually connected to God, but they were physically connected to God. Like
Okay, Doc,
being
I need a
indwelt with the Holy
mechanism,
Spirit is a
not a
physical.
prophet. Like, you're a really nice guy and you've been a great interlocutor, but I need you to give me a mechanism. No more feelings, right? What is
I
the
haven't been a
system and
great.
how you
I
know
haven't
that
been a great
somebody?
interlocutor.
It's a compliment.
my,
It's a
my,
compliment.
no, I appreciate it, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying like my arguments were like wishy-washy.
No, a
But I'm
great
saying like,
interlocutor is being good faith. You're good faith.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and you, man. Like I thought you would have like kicked me like 20 minutes ago or something.
No, I
But like,
don't
it's
kick
been
people who are good faith. I kick people who are bad faith.
that's cool. That's good to be fair.
But
Like, a lot
I
of
am going to
people,
kick you now for two reasons, because I feel like we're going full circle and I really have to use the bathroom. So God bless, man.
No worries, man. No
Appreciate
worries.
the great
And you,
conversation.
bro. Likewise, man. In a bit.
W's in the chat for him.
Here's the opposite vibe. You really did that.
You actually pulled it off. Everyone said it couldn't be done, but you went and did it anyway. Made it look easy too. Didn't hesitate, didn't second guess. Just stepped up when it mattered. Whole room went quiet watching you work. That was something else. Everyone saw what you did. That was impressive. You came through and it counted. Can't deny it now. You keep acting like it's nothing, but we all know what that took. People are still talking about it. You earned this. Could've played it safe, could've let someone else try, but you took the shot. It ended perfectly.
I had to really go, man. This guy.
What's up?
What's up? Oh, I thought I had someone else in the queue. I guess I didn't. I got banned again on the other TikTok.
What? Is this your second
This
account?
is my backup. Yeah, my other one got banned. Not even for something I did. Somebody else come up and started saying the N-word a bunch of times, and it got me banned.
Did you appeal it?
It's still in review.
Well,
still in review.
That'll get restored.
We'll see, man. I'm getting banned every other day. Getting banned every other day.
I mean, they can't ban you for bringing up a guest, and the guest.
They can do whatever they want. They also restricted this live because the one said no good reason to be a Muslim rather than why should I be a Muslim. They restricted this live because of that. For hate speech.
Fascinating.
Yeah, you can't win with this channel, man. What's up, bro?
Oh, just wife took the kids to the park, and I'm sitting here with the baby.
Aw. Why no Christians? Have you guys talked to a Christian? Insufferable. Listen. Every group's got its flaws. Islam's got its flaws of not telling the truth, right? Atheists have their flaws about being like condescending, right? Christians have their flaws of being self-righteous. High horse people. And because you're all my brothers and sisters in Christ, I'm not going to beef with you. That's why no Christians.
Have you encountered the dilemma that is shaking all of Christendom?
The mustard seed dilemma? It literally doesn't even, that's the dumbest one because it doesn't even say it's the smallest seed.
It's fantastic that Muslims are now just recycling atheist arguments.
Plus, it's not even a dilemma.
Well, it's not a dilemma, and it applies to them as well, which is even if you want to take it literally, let's just say we took it completely literally, and Jesus is saying he's teaching a botany lesson here, right? It's still going to go against them because they have tons of different references that are using what I would take to be hyperbole. But if we're just throwing hyperbole out, then guess what?
What?
Like the one with the black seed oil, right? Have you seen that one?
No, but here's the thing. You don't even have to throw out hyperbole because it's the smallest seed that is sown. That's what it says.
Yeah, what they're doing is they're bringing up comparatively two different accounts, Matthew and Mark, saying one where it says in all the earth and one where it says it's the smallest seed that's sown.
Yeah, the context.
And so they're making an argument that it's Matthew changing Mark to flatten the blow, but the earth does mean the soil. That's the point. Earth is the same word that's utilized for what's planted.
Yeah. It's the silliest argument in the world. And you know what? I'm just gonna. Whoa! What the heck did I do, man?
Someone joined your fan club, I think.
Somebody what?
Joined your fan club. There was a heart.
Did I accidentally turn HDR on? What happened? Everything is all really dark now. No. I'm just gonna let them run it, and I'm not even gonna fight it. That's convincing. Wow, what a great argument. It's it's not even worth the time. Not even worth the time. There we go. I'm so scared because the new monitor is OLED. I'm so scared of burn-in that I'm constantly closing and opening screens, and I really messed up everything on my screen there all of a sudden.
I got to go on a fascinating trip with an ex-Muslim yesterday.
Yeah.
No, 2 days ago. 2 days ago, where they walked me through all the hadith of, we'll just call them the fluids hadith.
Yeah.
And how I learned that Muhammad, this is where I snuck off to. Yeah, so, because Duran was closing his live. But, yeah, I got to learn about how Muhammad's servants would drink his urine, and it would be a blessing for their bellies.
That's an old one.
I got to learn how the Sahaba, his companions, would drink his blood, and he would smile about it. What is this religion?
I really jacked.
Why do you look confused?
Because I jacked up my computer again. Every time I touch this thing, something happens. My taskbar is supposed to auto hide, and it's not auto hiding.
See, this is why I'm not a professional apologist. I just hang out with professional apologists.
Because of the tech stuff?
Yeah. Well, tech and time. I don't have a place to put the tech, and I don't have the time to be a full-time apologist because I'm a full-time pastor. So I prefer being a full-time pastor than apologist.
There we go.
I just like
freaking got it. All right. That was annoying. All right, I have no idea what's going on, man. I can't get a guest to save my life. We got one guest today, the whole day, one guest. Except for the people that said the N-word when they came up. But I mean, somebody actually wanted to talk the topic. One guest through the whole day. What's going on?
How long you been going?
2 hours.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for the summer we might end debates for a while, and then just focus on whatever on reactions to stuff. It's a lot of stuff going on over on YouTube, anyways. What go?
The live streams.
Same
like
thing.
On Friday.
Really slow. But my main account was banned then too, and it got banned again. We're like within 30 minutes of being live, got banned. And this backup account has now been restricted. I might restart this one because it's been restricted and I changed it. So actually, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to restart this TikTok, guys.
Yeah, do a restart.
Yeah. We're going to restart it. Mondays are usually our busiest days. Everybody's like, it's Monday. No, but Mondays is usually our busiest days. Wednesday or Fridays are slowest, usually. Fridays are slowest. Christians, when you don't blindly believe in Christianity, what are you talking about, bro? What you talking about, Willis?
No Abby today?
She's coming back from Montreal. She went there for a wedding. She's on the road right now. She'll be back in like a few hours.
I was gonna say normally she says hi to me when she's there. So
yeah, no, she's not here. She's not here. The New Testament shows a cursed lineage. Jesus is not eligible to be Messiah or King. We'll come up, have a conversation about it, man. Show me. Don't just say things. Why do I speak so badly about the brethren? Like Paul did? You guys rebuking me for being like Paul? And Jesus? Jesus did the same thing?
No, they might be talking about Deuteronomy 18:18, where Muslims are the brethren.
No, they're I think they're talking about Christians.
Oh. I thought they were talking about Muslims.
Doug, I'm not gonna argue with you in the chat. If you want to argue the topic, come up. But I'm not gonna go through your texts and argue you on text. I have a hard fast rule not to argue with anybody over text. Period. Ever. I don't care if it's a friend or whatever. I do not argue over text.
This is true.
Ever.
I also hate that, by the way.
Arguing over text.
Yeah.
It's true. When John wants to argue with me, my phone doesn't stop ringing.
Yeah. Hey, I'm like that with everyone though. If it's Than, if it's freaking Tim, like it's like I don't want to. I can say 500,000 more words and get more of an argument out than every 10 minutes sending a paragraph. Like it's so dumb to me.
Fernando, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Fernando Armas.
We pray for John Steele. John Steele sad. Look at those puppy dog eyes when he looks straight in the camera.
You guys don't get the sad music, unfortunately. That's only for YT. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
You all can hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 20.
All right, man. 2 topics today. Why should we be Muslim? Or you can convince us to stop worshiping Jesus. What do you want to do?
Alright, so I'll start with you with the first question. So do Jesus talk to God? Do they talk to each other?
I'm sorry, I need you to answer my question first. Which topic do you want to do?
Can you say it again?
Can you read?
I cannot read it. It's not in there.
You don't know how to read?
It's above his head.
Alright, so you say, why should I be a Muslim?
Yeah, there's 2 topics today. The first topic is, why should I be a Muslim? Or the second topic is, convince us to stop worshiping Jesus. Which topic would you like to do?
So I'll convince you to stop worshiping Jesus.
Okay, what's the argument?
The argument is, if Jesus was a God, so my question is for you, does he talk to God? Like, do they talk with each other?
So yeah, my friend, questions are not arguments, right? Simply asking me a question or asking me a billion and one questions to the point where I can't answer a question.
So we're arguing about questions.
It's not how to direct me into a conclusion. Now, you can ask questions, but I need to hear the argument first.
So I want to argue with you by questions, and I want to tell you that
arguments are not questions.
So you want me to convince you?
Yeah.
And I'm asking you a question to convince you.
Yeah, that's the Socratic method. The Socratic method works when we're both trying to derive the same conclusion, or you've presented an argument and you're trying to get me to agree with the premises. I need the argument first.
Well, I don't know about that.
Okay, so you have no argument?
Well, I get an argument for you. And it starts with my question.
All right, then. As much as I don't have any other guests, questions are not arguments, but I appreciate your time.
But how are you going to get with an argument?
And okay, let's try again. I don't know what happened to John. OQ, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Sorry, my wife called me.
Yep. OQ?
Where'd your guest go?
He was just refusing to engage in an argument, so I kicked him.
Oh.
How does one get called? I'm not arguing with you over text. Turn on your microphone. Bro literally joined and is arguing with me through text. All right, God bless. Fernando, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Fernando. Does somebody want to try the shorts chat thing and see if there's an issue with the mic or something? OQ, hello, how are you? Just real quick, how old are you? Fernando, you don't even have a mic connected this time. My Lord. Lord God, give me strength. Give me strength. I think I'm going to switch over to StreamYard just for taking callers. I think that's what's going to happen. Just to get the audio. Or Stream Elements, I think. StreamYard, Stream Elements.
I don't know.
Let's see if this person
Hey now.
hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
Hey, 29?
All right, man. 2 topics today. First topic, why should we be Muslim? Or convince us to stop worshiping Jesus. What do you want to do?
Do people actually want to convince you to stop worshiping Jesus?
Doc, which one do you want
All
to
the
do?
time.
I mean, I'm not a Jesus fan, but I wouldn't try to convince you not to. Jesus is the second coolest Jew of all time.
Did he drop?
No,
Did you drop him?
Who let the trolls out? Who let the trolls out?
I dropped you because you don't have reading comprehension skills. And I explained to you what the thing was, and then you just kind of went off on a different thing. That's why I dropped you.
I created my first AI song for my live streams the other day, John.
How's that going?
Well, I've only played it like 3 times, but I like it.
Fernando, did you get your mic working?
I don't think he got his mic working. No, but it's called Put the Shahada in Reverse. Has like a
John, can you try calling in on my link and see if it's working?
Yeah, shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. I'll be back, boys and girls.
Rick, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? It might be an issue on my end this time. No, that's working. Yeah, okay. So he couldn't call in. That was the same Rick from before. And it didn't work. So it's got to be an issue on my end. But I don't know what it is. Everything is set up. It's all exactly the way it's always been. And that works. Starting to think there's demons out to get me, man. You notice that Mondays people come in a bit later? Well, we can't stay too late today. Can't stay too late. Hello,
What's up, man?
hello. How are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
33.
All right, man. Today's there's 2 topics today. First topic is why should I be a Muslim? Second topic is to convince me to stop worshiping Jesus. Which one do you want to do?
Oh, I'm in the wrong live then, man. Sorry, I didn't read that right.
Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, you want to lose again? You want to?
Let's try refreshing this. Maybe it'll work then.
Hello?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Dude, it's crazy. Sometimes you literally just have to like restart something and it just works and there's nothing different.
I did
it's
that
so weird.
3 times.
That's crazy. Who knows? R.I.P. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. If you want to, we could go over the syllogism from last time, and not in like an argument sense, but just like, I don't know.
The same syllogism, like the same one, like God would create a perfect world if that he desired.
Yeah, I could just tell you like what I think the best ways out of it, and just like maybe just like summarize how it works, just for you to think about it some more. Or,
no.
If there's no other guess, yeah. If you don't want to do it,
I got
no
someone
biggie.
else. Yeah, maybe next time.
Okay.
Maybe you do it with Little John next time. Maybe he has a different response for you.
Okay.
But I
Sounds
don't know
good.
if you heard me last time when I told you that is the best argument I think against Christianity. Just so you know.
Yeah, I think you have to bite the bullet on the all things considered. God desires a world without sin. I think you have to bite the bullet and say that that's false.
I didn't say it was a defeater. I said it's one of the best. Different.
Yeah, I think it is good because you have to bite that bullet. Like, I think that's the only way out of it.
Right.
But it's not like you could just say there's some greater good that he wants to instantiate via sin. But yeah. Anyway,
right.
Adios.
God bless. We like Rick here. The Christian Destroyer. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm doing good.
All right, man. 2 topics today. Why should I be Muslim, or convince me to stop worshiping Jesus? Which one do you want to do?
Hey, John, it's me. You know that, right? I'm not LARPing. It's me.
Why'd you put your name as that?
Because you told me to check.
Yeah, in fact, why'd you put your name? If I knew it was you, I would have let you talk to Rick about that argument.
Oh, what argument? I was just sitting in the back. So the link is working when I go to your like main.
I got it working. I had to refresh it.
Well, I couldn't click it on Shorts.
No.
It's not clickable on Shorts.
Well, it is if you go into the description like it says in the Shorts chat to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's working. So I'm not here LARPing. I was just like trying to fix your crap. All right,
Thanks,
I'm leaving.
man. Thanks. Appreciate
I'll be back.
You. God bless. Fair warning, if he requests again, I'll ban you. Oh, he's back. Okay. Rick and John, go at it.
Hi, Rick.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
I'm good. What's the so I heard John say you have given him what he thinks is the best argument against Christianity? Did I hear that right?
I guess so in John's opinion, but he's taken a few hits to the head in his time of jiu-jitsu, I'm sure. So, I'm sorry, John. I'm just messing with you.
No, he's not wrong.
No,
do you want me to?
This is I really value Steele's opinion, so this will be interesting. Go ahead.
Okay, so essentially, there's like a first stage of the argument and like the second stage. The second stage is like the most contentious part. The first one is if God exists. Let me
Wait here. I'm gonna type it down. That way I can just track because you're actually giving premises. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right. Here, one sec.
The first stage is pretty simple. It's just if God exists, then we would expect a world without sin. World without sin exists, therefore God doesn't exist. So just pretty basic. But then obviously the part that needs motivated is if God exists, we would expect a world without sin, right? So that's where the meat of it is. And John, I can copy and paste it again if you want me to. I was working on some motivations for some of the other premises, so it's going to be kind of gross. And I was messing with the wording too, so let me see.
Wait, what'd you say P2 was?
No, he's gonna here, John. He's gonna write it. He's gonna give it to us, and then just so everybody knows, I'm still under review.
So it's like it's 2 stages, John. So this is just like the overlying. If God exists, then we would expect a world without sin. A world with sin exists, therefore God does not exist. That's like the first stage, and obviously the first premise is the most contentious. So I'm going to send John motivation for the first premise. And that comes in the form of another syllogism. Oh no, I think there's a character limit that I hit.
Yeah.
Let me.
Well, your conclusion doesn't follow from the premises as you stated it. What the conclusion would have to be is, therefore, like it wouldn't be God doesn't exist because that's negating, but your first premise is actually making an expectation claim. So you're making like a probability thing. Like, so if God exists, we would expect a world without sin. A world with sin exists. So you would change it. Therefore, we should expect God doesn't exist or something like that. That would just be a quick clarification.
John, you're going to know this argument. It's the one that Danny popularized a long time ago. The one where it's like, could God actualize a world where a basketball player makes the shot every single time with their own free will? So God could have actualized a world where we chose not to sin and still have a free will. That's the argument.
Oh yeah, so I run a counter argument. So the expectation here, we can agree on the expectation. So a world under theism, you would not necessarily expect there to be like gratuitous suffering or evil or things of that nature or sin, right? The expectation of that is going to be lower on theism than on non-theism. So we can agree on that. Just like fine-tuning is like it favors theism over non-theism, right?
So really quick, I want to say that this is a logical deductive argument. This doesn't deal with probabilities. Just to let you know, I'm making the logical problem of sin argument, not the probabilistic like expectation argument. This is the logical syllogism. The syllogism follows the form: if P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. I can't remember which one. It's either modus tollens or modus ponens or whatever, but yeah.
It's modus tollens. So. Yeah, you said
it's tollens because it negates the second premise.
Yeah. So it's not based off of like probabilities or expectations. This is based on like a logical.
So when you say in the first premise, if God exists, we would expect a world without sin. That's an
No, I'm not saying
that claim.
No, you changed it,
go ahead,
John.
Yeah, you changed it to we would expect a world with sin. I'm saying if God exists, then there would not be sin.
Oh, you definitely said expect, but that's fine. If that's your premise, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I might have misspoke there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So if God exists, then the world would be sinless, is your first premise.
Yeah. And here, John, I've shortened it. I've shortened it again. Hopefully this doesn't meet the letter count here. Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah, that's fine. When I thought you made the expectation claim, that changes the type of argument. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll motivate premise one then, because I think that's the most contentious one, obviously. So premise one is God can instantiate any logically possible world. Premise two, a world where humans never choose to sin is a logically possible world. Premise three, all things considered, the most desirable, logically possible world is a world wherein humans never choose to sin. Premise four, all things considered, God would instantiate the most desirable, logically possible world. Therefore, God would instantiate a world where humans never choose to sin.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying that there's a logical contradiction like Danny does here, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So all I have to do then is give a logically possible option that kind of alleviates the tension. So the argument that I've developed, and I'm trying to remember the premises. I have it written down somewhere.
I got it right on the screen.
Yeah. So If you're saying you're saying there's a logical contradiction, then you would agree with me that if there's a logically possible option that would like permit sin, then it would not be a logical contradiction, right? Because now you have a logically possible world that can be instantiated that acts as a defeater.
Not really. So like,
it would have to be. Like when you say it's a logical contradiction, it means there is no logical possible world where it could occur. So if I give you a logically possible world where it could occur, if I give you a logically possible world where it could occur, then it's not going to be a logical contradiction.
I perhaps I misspoke, but there's within my first syllogism or the one that motivates premise one, I don't mention a logical contradiction there. Like that's not the thrust of the argument. The thrust of the argument is I think modus ponens, you said, where it's...
Yeah, but are you presenting a logical problem? Or are you presenting
I think you guys talk past each other. Let me see if I can clarify. John, let's just go through premise by premise. Premise one, God can instantiate any logical possible world.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, I would probably deny that. Because I think...
You don't think God can instantiate any logical possible world?
No, because I think there are logically impossible worlds God cannot instantiate based off of like his metaphysical character.
You mean logically possible worlds he can't instantiate?
A logically possible world. So it's logically possible to instantiate a world. Like think of like Ian's example, like the wood chipper universe. He could instantiate a universe where every single time someone's born, that they immediately are thrown into a wood chipper, right? That's a logically possible world, but it's not a world I think God can instantiate.
Yeah, but you're talking about like a metaphysical contradiction, a metaphysical impossibility.
Yeah,
not a logical
I think there's when we say God there, I'm taking it to be a metaphysical claim under like my commitments. Like that's a world that God can't instantiate. Sure. I think there's a logical contradiction between God's character and instantiating that world, even though it's logically possible in the sense of just like modality.
Sure. Yeah. So premise one right here, essentially I'm just saying God's omnipotent, or he's maximally omnipotent with respect to the laws of logic. And you don't think that God's like maximally powerful or all powerful with respect to the laws of logic.
No, I do. So
okay, because that's all that premise one is saying.
Sense.
So hold on, John. Now I need to clarify because I'm curious here. Do you think he logically can do it and physically has the capability to do it, but because of his nature will never choose to? Or are you saying he just can't?
So we have to talk about what we mean by capability. So what I take omnipotence to be is I take T.J. Mawson's view, where God's omnipotence is going to be the power granting set of all abilities with no liabilities. So that might be where there's a tension here, is because when we say omnipotence metaphysically within God's nature, such as he has the power granting set of all abilities with no liabilities, then it's not just saying logically possible worlds. It's saying something a little steeper that's going to have like metaphysical weight. Because a liability is going to be something like that misaligns with God's perfect rationality, to which that could never obtain. Because then you would have a perfectly rational God create an irrational world. There's things of that nature, but it also is going to be like a moral character claim. It's like logically possible for God to. Is it logically possible for God to instantiate a world? Well, in virtue of the type of power I'm talking about, metaphysically, no, it's not.
Okay, so what I see
that
from
would
this
be considered a liability.
Yeah, so some liabilities are essentially here. You said misalignment with God's perfect rationality. So his perfect rationality is some sort of metaphysical reality, right? Like that's a metaphysical
his perfect rationality is going to be it'll be
it'll
be a metaphysical truth. His character will be a metaphysical truth.
So you're disagreeing with P1, and you're saying God's power is bound by metaphysical laws as well as logical laws.
Depends on how you mean by bound, but for the sake of the argument, we can just say yes.
In the same sense that it's limited by the classical laws of logic, it's also limited by any metaphysical reality such that
it's unlimited by the nature of the God in question, but it's like I wouldn't use limited here in the sense, because it's like, do you consider yourself limited? Because, and I'm not trying to be like obtuse, but do you consider yourself limited because you do not grape someone?
Because I choose not to? Limited in what respect?
Like, is it metaphysically possible within your character that you would ever grape someone?
Is it metaphysically possible within my character that I would ever grape someone?
Yeah, the very nature of the thing that, when we say you, the very nature of the thing that you are, right? The nature of the thing that you are, is it metaphysically possible that you could ever grape someone, right?
We'll just say human, because I'm going to say it makes me uncomfortable to talk about that kind of.
Well, I can change. Well, we can throw a baby off a roof. Like, I mean,
something better. Yeah,
I just threw out the first. Sorry, I threw out the first example. I'm not trying to like get.
No, I got you.
I gotcha, because I'm trying to have a dialogue. So
yeah. So
like,
is it metaphysically
take whatever massively? Well, no. You. We're talking just about you.
Oh, just
we're talking about the person that you are.
Okay,
could you ever
because
could you ever
human, yeah,
like,
so humans have like, I would even say it's nomenologically possible. It's a physical possibility that humans can do X. So therefore,
yeah, it doesn't violate the law. Yeah, it doesn't violate the law of nature. Yeah, it doesn't violate the law of nature for you to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't even violate
but I think there. So I would say, like, this is what T.J. Mawson goes into with like this metaphysical possibility. When we say something is not metaphysically possible for the person, right? So there's no state of affairs in which the person would commit action A. So that's identical to saying it's impossible for that person to commit action A.
Yeah, look, I mean, look, if you're going to define God such that he's not only constrained by the laws of logic, but his ability to do things is also constrained by metaphysical laws, then
it's the metaphysical nature of it's the metaphysical nature of his character, which does not permit liabilities in a logical sense. So
yeah, so liabilities is like a certain set of metaphysical laws, and that's like that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I would agree with you.
T.J. Mawson, he gives. Yeah, so T.J. Mawson, in his view of omnipotence, says that again, God's omnipotence is the power-granting set of all abilities with no liabilities. It's actually, if you read the book by Graham Oppy, where he talks about, I think is it Defining God? I can't remember. It's been a minute since I've looked at it. Graham Oppy has a book where he goes through all of like the attributes of God, and one of them is omnipotence, and he critiques the each like theistic view of omnipotence. T.J. Mawson's view actually isn't represented in the book, but he goes through all of these things on why you have to, like, at a certain point when you say something is just logically possible, well, it's going to lead to absurdity. And then he goes through all of these different stages in his book, right? So the argument that I'm making to you, and this is just what I'm trying to, are you saying that sin plus God is logically incompatible to where there's a logical contradiction? That's all I need. If you're saying there's a logical contradiction, then there's a P and not P, right? If you're saying it's not a logical contradiction, then you're saying there's an evidential problem. So that's all I need.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's, like, I'm right here in this syllogism. Like, if you're just, denying premise one, it's not even valid anymore. Like, if you're saying P1 is actually false,
it depends. Even if I grant P1, even if I grant like this, I'm just trying to derive, are you presenting a proposition and its negation that is a logical problem and you're giving it deductively, or are you saying that it's not a logical problem? Because that's a true dichotomy. It's either a logical problem or it's not a logical problem.
It's not a logical It's not a logical contradiction. There's no logical contradiction here. What I'm displaying.
Okay,
is
then
if
it's
you go
not a
back to
logical. It's not a logical problem then.
It it is a
your
logical.
P1
Let me say this. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology because I think it'd be helpful if we also, John, had the first stage argument up, because this is the second stage right here. All these premises you see.
The first stage. If it's not a logical, if it's not a logical problem, then your first stage argument, your P1 of the first stage argument, it doesn't go through.
It does. It's so. Let me
no. Because your
first.
If God exists, then the world would be sinless. Okay, but you're saying I'm not presenting a deductive argument to where there's a logical I'm not presenting a deductive argument to where there's going to be a logical contradiction. Then it's just going to be the case that you're either going to make P1 have to do with if God exists, then like it would go back to the expectation, because then you're just saying you wouldn't expect to see this, and we do see this, and therefore it's more of like a probability thing. There's an expectation there. But your P1 wouldn't follow if you're saying there's no logical contradiction.
What do you mean P1 wouldn't follow? Because premises don't.
No. I'm not saying like I'm saying it wouldn't go. P1 doesn't work if your deductive argument is not leading to a logical contradiction.
And so I'm telling you that's not the form of the argument. So let's go over the form of the argument then here. So the first argument goes, if P then Q.
I just pause you guys for 2 seconds. I see lamb in the thing. Lamb, did I do that right? You guys have been yapping. I've been just trying to figure out how to break it down into just for practice.
The notation. Yeah. Did you see the message I sent you?
No.
I just said you're doing homework for fun.
Yeah, well, you guys are arguing about this. I got bored. Oh, yeah, you did do that,
yeah. I saw you.
Sorry, guys, go ahead.
Yeah, so John, check out Overleaf and Latex. Anyway, what was I saying? So by logical problem of sin here, I don't mean that there's like a contradiction. I mean that there's a logically problem. Okay.
It's not no. That's sure. If you're saying that's logical problem of sin, if you're saying logical problem of sin, but you're also saying there's no proposition and negation, then it's not a logical problem. It's going to be an evidential problem.
That's not true, and I'll show you. I can demonstrate this 100% for sure. And that's because I'll forget the semantic. I messed up all the semantics there. So my first stage argument is if P then Q, not P. Or wait, what was it? Or sorry, if P then Q, not Q, therefore not P. That's logically valid, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then so in this argument, I don't have like a nice pretty modus tollens here, but I think John can see. John's working it out right now. It's a little bit rough, but like, John, do you think this is a logically valid syllogism?
God can instantiate any logical possible world. Your antecedent is God. Your consequent is a logical possible world. A world where humans never choose to sin is a logically possible world. Consequent is logically possible world. All things considered, the best logical possible world is a world where humans never choose to sin. I think you'd have to substantiate premise 3 there. I think premise 3 would need its own premises. All things considered, the best logical possible world is a world where humans never choose to sin. All things consider God would instantiate the best logical possible world. If you grant a lot of things, I'd say what's the word? Valid, not sound.
Valid. Yeah. You could ask me to motivate each of these to try and see if it's sound, but this is logically valid, right? So if all the premises of my first stage argument are true, then it's sound, and the conclusion follows. If all the premises of this syllogism right here are true, then the conclusion logically follows. So, in the conclusion of the first stage syllogism is that God does not exist. So, in order to show that this is that it wouldn't follow, you'll have to negate one of these premises, right? Do you agree with that?
So let's see. God can instantiate any logical possible world. So this would be material implication. Well, no, what would that be? God can instantiate. I don't know the inference rule in that first one. What's the inference rule?
I don't know if it's an inference rule, but if you need me to set it up in like the if
I'd
P
say,
then
I'd
Q,
say, I'd say this is
thing,
probably informal. Like it's a syllogism, but I'd say like just the way it's structured is pretty informal.
Yeah,
it still follows, but it's not written formally.
It's pretty bastardized, and I can like you agree there if the variables that I have here,
I'd say
if I represent it in the variables that I've showed, it's A, B, C is equal to B, D is equal to C. If E, then D.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'd say first premise would be like if God exists, God can create any logical possible world. So then you'd have a material implication there. So that'd be your first premise.
And I denied that based off of the use of like can here. It depends on your account of omnipotence, to where my account of omnipotence specifically, it excludes liabilities. And because it excludes liabilities, God can't do that.
Yeah, so you would deny P1, and I would agree with you then. Then my argument on your view doesn't follow through. On anyone's view where they think that God can instantiate any logically possible world, then this argument would go through. As far as attacking like somebody like critiquing somebody's view, such as yours, where God also has metaphysical limitations.
Who's got the cat?
It would have to be different. I do.
Awesome.
That's Olive. I would have to make a different syllogism for it.
Yeah, even if I granted, okay, God can instantiate a logically possible world. Let's just say I granted that.
Sure.
I don't, but let's so world where humans never choose to sin would be logically possible. Yes, I would agree with that. All things considered, this is where it gets dicey. The best logically possible world is So I would, even if I granted one, I would deny three. All things considered, the best logically possible world is a world where humans never choose to sin. So the argument I would give for this would be something like, and this is going to be informal because I haven't used this in a minute, but it's something like.
Plus, Sean doesn't know how to read formal logic, and that screwed him over a few times, and he needs to learn how to read it.
Yeah, I need to learn. I need to learn to like. Now I can read some of it, but I can't like if it's just put in front of me. I don't. I no.
And then he goes ahead and answers it anyways. He's like, somebody sends him.
Wait a second. So wait. Just don't go. So anyway, premise 3, right? All things considered, the best logically possible world is a world where humans never choose to sin. Well, I don't think that's necessarily true. So I could give you a logically possible world. So it would be like this. It would be if God. It is possible that God desires a world in which the set of moral virtues obtain. A world without sin, the set of moral virtues do not obtain. So it's going to be logically possible that God desires that world, like something like that, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be consequences. So let's say God desires a world where, like his nature. Let's say there's something about his nature that he once revealed within the type of world that he creates. Okay? Because I also hold to that. Yeah. I hold that God creates more types of worlds than just like really is focusing more on the token. But so let's say it is possible God desires a world, and that world X is going to be where the set of all moral virtues obtain. The set of all moral virtues is going to be consistent with God's character. So let's say there's a character within God. Let's say it is justice or judgment or charity or any of these things, right? For the sake of the argument, let's just use justice. So I believe that there is a character of God that represents his nature that is going to be.
The chat's getting bored, but we have no one else in the queue today, guys. So deal with it.
Yeah. So it's going to be that it is possible. It is logically possible. God desires a world in which the set of all moral virtues obtain. The set of all moral virtues there is going to be representative of God's nature and character.
God is going to have like this justice. Justice is going to be essential to who God is as the type of creator that that he is. So premise 2, where it would say that a world without sin cannot create. It's logically impossible for a world without sin to create the virtue of justice, because you would have what justice requires is that someone has done something unjust, right? So you have a proposition and its negation there. So it's logically possible that God desires a world where the set of all moral virtues obtain, a world without sin, the set of all moral virtues does not obtain, and then it's possible God desires that type of world.
So
that would be my argument against P3 of your like clarification of the first stage.
A few things. When you say like, I agree that like you can just deny this, and like I think I told John earlier, I think that's the best way out of this. It's just to say, all things considered, no, actually, sorry, John's reworded it so it sounds like some weird robot talking. You could say that it's actually God desires. The negation of this is that he does desire sin in the world. And there's a distinction. The best possible world is where humans choose to sin. Well, that's so
my rebuttal to you is actually flipped.
Can I clarify
flipped on that a little bit? Yeah.
Can I clarify really quick?
Yeah.
So whenever you're denying a proposition, or sorry, a premise inside a syllogism, you're affirming its negation. So that's why this is like such a very tough bullet bite, and it's like it's a hard bullet to bite. It's because you affirm the negation of the premise, and it's like, what do you mean? All things considered, the best logically possible world is a world where sin exists. Like, that sounds bad. You know, why would God want sin?
Well, yeah, that's why the way I deny this. That's why the way I deny this is not saying God desires a world with sin, to where the desire is like focused toward sin, but rather God desires attributes to exist in a world that expresses his character, to where sin is a logical consequence. That's different. It's like saying, hey, I desire the cake, but a logical consequence is the calories, right? For me, desiring the cake, that's what my desire, that's the focus of my desire. So in this world that I'm representing to you, what God desires is the cake, and then sin is going to be the logical consequence, just like calories is the logical consequence. So if he desires a world with justice, he desires a world with justice because justice is a good thing. It's a good value to have. Then injustice is a logical consequence. It's not to where God's desires are focused toward injustice, and then justice just happens to come about. But God wants justice, and so injustice is a logical consequence.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's just that the wording is very important here, and essentially you're saying the same thing that I am, and just to be
as long as the desire is focused toward the good rather than God desires sin, that's a very different claim. And I'd like to hear what Lamb has to say too, because Lamb might have a different view than me.
Yeah, I actually have a question for the guest.
Sure.
When you're giving this problem of evil argument, right? And I assume it's a logical problem in the sense that when you're saying it's a logical problem, you're saying that like there's some sort of principles that are going to be contradictory if it's given the case that our paradigm is sufficient. So the question is like, is this an internal critique in which you're going to utilize our paradigm so far as our conceptualization of God is going to be utilized in your argument to claim that there's some sort of like contradiction or there's something contrary to the principles? Or is this some sort of external critique in which you're actually putting forth your own paradigmatic like understanding of what God would be like metaphysically?
So it's a little bit weird in which like most of the time when people say internal critique, they're trying to derive a contradiction within a worldview. That's not what I'm doing. Essentially, the form of the argument. Yeah, I'll explain. Don't worry.
I don't think it doesn't have to be a contradiction. When I say internal critique, I'm just saying anything to the contrary could be true.
Yeah, correct. I don't know if you're here for the stage one. The stage one argument is if God exists, if God exists, he would desire, or sorry, if God exists, he would instantiate a world without sin. Or wait, one second. If God exists, there would be a world without sin. There is a world with sin. Therefore, God does not exist, which follows if P, then Q, not Q, then not P.
Yeah, so the problem arises from the first sort of premise that you gave is that has a metaphysical presupposition that you're backdropping in there, which that's what I'm questioning is if that's internal. Are you utilizing the paradigm in which we have a specific metaphysical conceptualization of God, or are you putting forth a metaphysical conceptualization you feel is more adequate or accurate to the concept of God that's different than our paradigm? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's internal, which is why this only works for people who think that it's logically that God is all powerful. Like, as long as you think that God's all powerful, and you think that all things considered, the best logically possible world is a world where humans never choose sin. Like, as long as you affirm both of those within your own worldview, that's true. But it's like, yeah, I think Little John, his name is, like, very, did the very quick, easy sidestep of just saying, well, God's not actually omnipotent with respect to the laws of logic. He's omnipotent.
Oh, well, no. He's still omnipotent. Like, it's just the account of
he's omnipotent. Yeah, I agree with John. He's omnipotent so far as in the omnipotence is going to pertain to proper of his nature, right? So he can't do anything that's going to be contrary to his nature. So he can't exist and not exist at the same time, which would be
a logical contradiction, not his nature.
No, his nature is logically transcendental in the sense that it's going to be that in which is logical because it pertains to his nature. So when we say logic and then God's nature, we're saying they're one and the same, at least descriptively.
Yeah, sure. It's not saying God is not omnipotent. It's just the account of omnipotence is the power granting set of all abilities with no liabilities. And there are certain things that are not even abilities, right? So, for example, creating a square circle, that's not an ability because it's not actually something that can come about, right? You have a shape with sides and a shape with no sides, right? So because that's not a thing and no ability could ever bring that, well, because that's not a thing and no ability could ever bring that about, then there's going to be a sense in which it's logically impossible. But there's another sense, metaphysically, where according to the type of nature God has, that his power does not allow for liabilities. So power granting set of all abilities with no liabilities. It's still omnipotence. It's just not a view of omnipotence that's so, like, broad.
Yeah.
Just real quick. I think I made this better. You guys tell me if I made it better or worse. Premise 1, if God exists, then God can create any logical possible world. Premise 2, if a world without sin and free will is logically possible, God would create it. Conclusion, therefore, is a logical possible world without sin and free will, therefore God would create it. Therefore God should create it.
Okay. So
right?
then...
Yeah. Could you post that in the chat so I can be mean to other people and drop?
Yeah. So then you would agree that under our paradigm, God, proper to his nature, doesn't have a desire for sin, correct? Because it's going to be antithetical. Because sin in our paradigm, like evil and sin, are just going to be defined as that in which is a privation of the good, and good is just going to be defined as things that are proper to God's nature teleologically.
Exactly. So just like I said, the cake is the good that's being represented. That is what's proper to God's nature because of the type of being God is metaphysically. And then the calories are going to just be a logical consequence of that, right?
Yeah. So it sounds like what we have here is if you agree with it's an internal critique, you're utilizing our paradigm sort of conceptualization, then the argument has to be formulated in such a way in which you're saying that...
Hold on. I don't think he can speak right now. I think I'm just going to reset it and bring him back in. Oh. Rick, you're gone. I don't know what happened.
Oh, I would actually agree with the guest, someone who said no calories have a positive ontology. Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Rick,
so,
can you say anything?
Even though calories are a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with the person in the comments who says calories have a positive ontology. So yeah, sin or evil doesn't have a positive ontology in the same sense, but calories are still a logical consequence of desiring cake.
The main point I was focusing on was like what God's nature desires within the type of world he creates.
Yeah, and like, if you say, okay, because then here's the thing, is I actually agree with this sort of philosophical understanding of if God were to create a world in which sin is not pertained, then that would mean that only God exists. Like, that would be sort of the conclusion you come to, is because if we actually utilize our paradigm's understanding of what good and evil are, what sin and goodness are, then you would just say that there's a universe in which there is nothing that is a privation of the good. But if that's the case, then only God exists, because that would be the ultimate sense of perfection. Or you could do like I said his name earlier, like Robert Adams, I believe, where he says like there actually is no such thing as a best possible world, because given the sort of understanding of how we view God, there can always be one more happy person, one more act of virtue, one more perfected thing. And then so you would always yield a W plus in terms of the modal language. And then therefore you would have like an infinite hierarchy of like increasingly good like worlds that are going to keep like ascertaining.
Lamb, really quick, do you take, so I do take this as
Are you guys going to let Rick speak at all or what?
I just wanted to ask Lamb a quick question.
I got to go.
And this
like
is
2
actually going to
minutes,
help
so.
Rick. Okay, Rick, can I ask Lamb a question really quick?
Go for it. I'm not the star of the show.
So Lamb, really quick, would you hold to the view that it is logically possible for God to create a world where free agents only choose the good? And what it means there is just free agents never commit an act of evil.
No, because I hold a lot more metaphysically charged view of the incarnation, because he's a necessary being. So because the incarnation happened, like, I don't think there's a possible world in which an agent can choose otherwise 100% of the time.
So they have to sin.
Floor is yours, Rick.
You can respond now, Rick. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot, and I mean.
Yeah, no kidding.
They
talked for like 20 minutes straight.
Yeah, this is even worse than me, John. Where'd you find these guys?
I don't know, man. Phil bros are awful.
I know.
You're a Phil bro too.
I don't
Look what you just did. You just made an atheist syllogism better.
That's
not
Phil
Phil bro behavior.
That's logic.
He's closeted. John. It's pride. You can come out the closet.
That's logic, not philosophy.
That's
mathematics.
Math is a subcategory of philosophy.
Shut up. I don't even know if I made it better. You guys, Rick said it was better. Lamb, is that
I think
better?
it's certainly more succinct.
It's simpler and it's better, yes. But it still doesn't work. It will work on certain Christians, 100%. So thank you, John, for giving him the tools to destroy Christendom.
Hey, it's to use against my older brother. He's like very trad Catholic, only goes to Latin mass, and so it's to.
Good luck. You're going to debate against Thomas Aquinas. Good luck with that, bro.
I know scholasticism sucks, doesn't it?
The fact that you think all Catholics are just going to know Thomism is
if
also
he's going to
funny.
Latin mass, he's a Thomist.
He's my brother.
No, he might
too.
he might
Think
be a
about how I am.
Thomist, but yeah, he might be a Thomist, but he Thomism sucks anyway.
Hey, if you're on here again, link me some stuff against Thomism. All right.
Just Joshua.
I think Johnny said you to go.
Yeah, I got to go soon. Actually, I was wrong on the time. I got lots of time. My bad.
Yeah, this guy.
Damn. Okay, well, I'm down to talk a little bit more because I do have some critiques of their view of omnipotence.
Well, if we're moving into a different argument, then I do got other people in the queues.
Okay.
But if you want to keep going on this one, I'll let you keep going.
Or, well, I mean,
Or you can just say we gave you a defeater and move on.
Yeah, it's based off my brother, so you're not my brother, therefore the argument doesn't work. So you're right.
Yeah, if your brother takes omnipotence to be that God can do like contrary things to his nature, then he hasn't read Thomas Aquinas.
Yeah, I mean, he's more so on like the theological, listening to a bunch of stuff and like the, any implication that he can use from that in his everyday life. He's a practical guy, although he does like some philosophy stuff.
Yeah, it goes back to like God's desires. If God desired a world,
you guys are just nerding out. We're not even arguing. You guys are just nerding out. at this point.
I argued with him.
No, I said you guys did argue, and that was fine. But now you guys have stopped arguing, and you're just nerding out with each other, and we're trying to run a show here. Let's do some soups real quick. God bless John. I'll be praying for you. Thank you. I feel like we've done these ones. What's going on between this and the World Cup? Yeah, we did this. Why aren't these? Has anyone considered rolling that? That was the last one we got. Awesome. So what does that put us at? Wow, you guys are so good today.
That's good. No, what confused me the most was when he said it wasn't like he wasn't presenting there's a logical contradiction. Like he wasn't saying there's
John,
some logical contradiction in God's nature.
Jose,
well, I was talking to Lane.
Jose, you're still on the live. Jose, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you? Jose, jalapeno, and a stick.
Jose, can you see?
All right, let's. We got some people in old TikTok arena. Zeno, hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
I'm 21.
All right, man. 2 topics today. First topic, why should we be Muslim? Second topic, convince us to stop worshiping Jesus. Which one do you want to do?
Oh, the latter.
Why should we be Muslim? Or no, sorry, convince us to stop worshiping Jesus. No, yeah, my bad.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So yeah, there's just a huge problem with divine simplicity, in my opinion. Do you think that creation is necessary?
Are you just trying to go into modal collapse?
Yep.
Okay, Lamb, go ahead. I hate these Phil Bro arguments.
All right, what's the problem with divine simplicity? You said is it going to relegate everything to being necessary?
Correct. That's a huge issue.
Okay, why?
Well, I mean, if creation is necessary, then God had no choice in creation. He has no freedom, which...
have you read Proust and Rasmussen's understanding of contingent versus necessity when it comes to how things pertain?
I live pretty close to Proust. I've had multiple conversations with him.
Okay. Do you believe there is a distinction between contingent things and necessary things?
I'm a necessitarian, so no. I don't believe contingent things exist.
You don't believe contingent things exist? You don't believe that there's going to be sequential events that are going to pertain from one thing from another?
So I take the B theory of time that everything is just actual. We all just kind of live in our own slice of time.
You can hold the B theory and still hold the contingent things are true.
I mean,
I'm a B theorist. I'm a continentalist. I hold to Husserl philosophy. So, inner time consciousness would also kind of fall into B theory, in which how phenomenology is going to relegate itself in terms of bringing upon your experiences are not in a linear fashion. But I would still think contingent things exist, because I think there's I don't want to say foundational justification for it, but there seems to be a pretty experiential justification for contingent things existing.
How so?
Well, here, let me ask you a question. When you hear me say contingent, do you agree with my definition of contingent as things are to come from another in some sequence, right?
So when I say contingent, I mean strictly that it could not, or I mean that it could have been otherwise. That's what I mean. But of course there's some level of, just general contingency. I can say, you can still have, I can still have freedom, for example. I can still choose what I want to drink, what I want to eat. But my argument is that all this is just necessary in a timeless fashion.
So you think all things are necessary?
Yes.
So everything is a necessary being?
Everything is necessary.
What's your motivation for that?
Oh, well, okay. We could just say the wave function, for example, is sort of necessary fact, and everything just evolves according to the Schrödinger equation. And the Schrödinger equation is a mathematical object. Mathematical objects are necessary, therefore, the foundation for the universe is not
Oh, this is that
wait,
argument that's been running for a while. The universe.
Oh wait, is this the?
This is Ian's argument.
Yeah, this is.
Wait, hold on. You think the Schrodinger equation is like infinitely regressive and goes backwards?
I mean, well, it's more that the ontology of them, the mathematical objects for them, are necessary. So yes, I do think the Hamiltonian, for example, goes yes. I mean, well, we don't even have to say that they go infinitely backwards, right? Like we don't have to commit ourselves to a big crunch model or something. We could just say it's necessary, and we this is our best evidence.
Well, are you using necessary as it could not have failed to exist?
Could not, right?
Wait, hold on. Do you believe there's no possible worlds that exist out of the actual world?
No.
Okay, can I get an argument for that?
Yeah. So like I said, it's just going to be. Let me think about it. So we could say that since. Let's suppose everything evolves in accordance with the Schrodinger equation. Let's say that, everything came to be since then, all moments in time are actual. Everything exists necessarily without time. Like right now, like 10 minutes from now exists actually, but we're just not there yet. Therefore, everything 10 minutes ago exists actually, but we're not there right now.
Hey, John,
So
I love you. Baby's crying. I gotta go.
All moments in time are necessary because they
later,
they're necessary. And they don't need explanations. They are just like mathematical objects because the universe is fundamentally a mathematical object.
Okay,
Sorry, Lamb. Do you have an important thing you want to say?
No, you can go.
Why should I believe that the universe is a mathematical object?
Because all of our current data suggests that. I mean, the quantum mechanics pretty much accounts for gravity.
So a vague reference to quantum mechanics is not going to motivate me to believe that.
Well, I mean, I'm not a physicist yet, so I wouldn't be able to fully give you the explanation, but basically, you can still have, even if you take the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, that there's multiple worlds.
If you can't give a full explanation why we should be motivated to believe that the world is made of mathematics, why do you hold to it?
Oh, because most physicists that I've talked to, including, professors at my university or whatever, hold and have validated my philosophical claim. They are possible.
So it's just,
they don't necessarily agree with it. Not necessarily. I mean, you have to appeal on some sense. Mathematical objects that we create, like groups, are found in nature. Like we don't let's try to not appeal. I agree. Whatever.
Yeah.
There's going to be some level of appeal on all levels, but whatever. I'll grant this. Mathematical objects like groups are found in nature, so we can see that mathematical objects are fundamentally necessary.
Again, I don't see how that's the case, right?
The Fibonacci sequence, for example.
So what do you mean by the Fibonacci sequence? What do you elaborate?
So it's don't quote me on this exactly. The mathematics I kind of see on it, but basically the Fibonacci sequence is a mathematical pattern that's found in things like exponential growth. I mean, things like it's found. I mean, you can look it up. I don't know if you have a computer next to you. I don't.
So why is mathematics simply just a language in recognizing patterns?
Well, and that's where I go into mathematical Platonism, and I will say that the fact that
you're talking about mathematics doesn't.
Hold on, guys, 1 sec. Both you.
Quantum mechanics does not provide a fully encompassing understanding of the theory is much closer, but still does not totally encompass the necessary information needed to provide a full worldview.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, neither would Christianity, right?
What I asked you, are you using a strong form mathematical Platonism like Max Tegmark?
I don't even know who that is. Not really mathematical. I haven't looked.
Okay.
I'm one. I mean, that's just mostly to.
All right. So I have a question. Why is it the case? So, for example, you would say your argument something like everything that exists is like a mathematical object. Mathematical objects exist necessarily, therefore everything exists necessarily, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Why is this not a categorical error?
I mean, to provide evidence that mathematical objects aren't necessary, I mean, everything does come down to quantum physics.
No, so do you know what abstract existence and concrete existence are, right?
Of course.
Okay, so why is it the case that, for example, like a triangle can be like a mathematical object that exists necessarily, right? But it doesn't follow that the physical triangle must exist somewhere from that, unless you have like an argument for that.
That's that. Restate your argument again. I want to make sure I didn't mishear something.
Yeah, so we can say that like a triangle exists as a mathematical object necessarily, but it doesn't follow that there's a physical triangle somewhere from that. That's where I would say the
yeah, that's why I take it to. I'm not arguing that the physical thing. What's it called? I'm not arguing that the cart comes before the horse. I'm arguing that the mathematical object is doing the heavy lifting here, and it's like the mathematical object would be the P would be the Q, for example. Like that. Wait, I'm just saying it's ontologically prior.
I'm asking for the motivation for mathematical objects like being causally efficacious here instead of causally inert.
Oh, well, I mean that's just where we have to say it's necessary. They don't need explanation. They just are.
Okay, what set of axioms are you going by for the system to be like coherent?
I mean, you could say ZFC set theory. You could say, I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah, what axioms in set theory claim that mathematical objects are causally efficacious?
And none of them, but I'm just saying that.
Okay, so then why did you point to set theory?
This is a metaphysical principle. You asked what axioms?
A metaphysical principle. Yeah, I'm asking for. So you said I point to set theory in terms of like somehow being an axiom in the principle that you're utilizing, right? In the system you're utilizing. And I asked, what about that is going to make them causally efficacious, rather than causally inert?
Oh, okay. So I must have misheard you. I just thought you were saying like what specific. I thought you were trying to point or ask what specific, I guess, mathematics I was holding to. Okay, now I understand your question. Well, I mean, yeah, of course, there's not going to be like, I mean, there's the rules of logic. You could say that something necessary is in all possible worlds. It's necessary, therefore it doesn't need an explanation. I could just say that. I mean, I can't say, exactly why.
I can't say exactly mathematics are necessary. I grant that mathematical objects, like if a triangle as a mathematical object exists, it's necessary. I grant that. I don't think that I don't believe that like cardinal numbers are going to be distinct from possible worlds. But I'm saying that they're not causally efficacious. They're not instantiative.
Right. But if I say that the universe just had to be that way, then that gives grounds to how it would bring about, effects.
That didn't add any content whatsoever. You just said, I'm just saying this is the case and it's the case, therefore it's the case.
Well, so if I could just jump in real quick, and this is coming from somebody who's really stupid and trying to keep up with you guys. Why is it the case that when we see things like logical necessities, like the laws of logic, we don't go to like the transcendental argument? Why do we stop at mathematics?
Because, okay, so I haven't actually looked at tag in a while. I've only saw it on like slide, but can you run that by me? I have.
So I'm going to butcher the syllogism, so don't think it's going to be formal here. But the idea is pretty much this: the laws of logic is a universal concept. Concepts require a mind, therefore, the laws of logic require a universal mind.
Yeah. So premise 2, I just don't. I mean, 2 + 2 = 4 is going to exist whether we exist or not.
How is that going to exist whether we exist or not? Like, where does that ground in?
I mean, you could just say like the abstract reality that it lives in. It doesn't need humans to like observe it in order for it to be true.
So is the abstract reality actually has like metaphysical properties, like it exists and like outside of a mind?
Yes, in my view, it'd be a transcend.
Why should I
exist in this universe?
Why should I be motivated to believe that?
Because good question. So right there, you would just
let me just touch and I'll let you speak. I don't mean to cut you off, because it seems like evidentially so all abstracts, like all concepts and ideas, we only find in mind. So why should I see it outside of them? Outside of one. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, okay, you could just say at this point that, I mean, it's a necessary fact. I can't really say why, it has to, there really just is 2 + 2 = 4, whether we like it or not.
I agree.
All humans could cease to exist. 2 + 2 = 4 would still exist.
I agree.
There's no way to say that, they only exist in our minds. They just exist.
I agree with that. But the problem with that is that all the evidence, all the data, like if we're just talking about our priors here, my priors is going to be that concepts exist in minds. And so I do agree that it exists in the universe. That's like a necessary thing of the universe. But I think that is because we all technically exist in the mind of God.
So okay, if you commit yourself to that, how are you not committed to like panpsychism?
Into what?
Or pantheism. Sorry, I completely
because we are in the mind of God does not mean we are a part of God. Just like a baby inside the womb is not a part of the mother.
Well, yes, but like if we're talking about God here, and we are composed, and God's mind is necessarily simple. It's
simple just means not made up of parts.
Right, but if his mind has things made up of parts,
we are not God's mind, right? All things exist in like the mind of God. For when God looks at the universe, he looks internally, not externally. You cannot be apart from God because God is an existence in itself. But I feel like this is kind of a red herring to what I was originally addressing towards your mathematics.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, we did go on a tangent, but I mean, yeah, you're right. I would have to give some argument for mathematical mechanism there, but I would just say that it's necessary. They don't an explanation for.
Sorry, you're cutting out. And you've been a great conversationist, but you just kind of cut out there. Yeah. Give it a couple seconds. I got to go in 5 minutes, so. All right, Zeno, appreciate your time. Nice guy. Not a big fan of these super Philly bro arguments, though. They get really
It's not, dude. It's not a good. Like, I know someone who's also going to graduate with a master's and going into a PhD in physics, and they hate the Schrodinger's equation thing because they're like, it's like ad hoc to assume that Schrodinger's equation infinitely goes backwards, and like the whole thing with like mathematical objects being causally efficacious, which means that like they can actually produce physical things. That's like, I don't know.
I was wondering what efficacious meant when you kept saying it.
It just means like causally efficacious means like mathematics has like the capability or desire to like create things or has the agency to create things. I don't think it does.
Right. Well, let's try to do one more quick one. You're welcome to stay if you want. And then I gotta go. Hello, how are you? And just real quick, how old are you?
What's up? How are you? I'm good. I'm 23.
All right, man. 2 topics today. Why should I be Muslim or convince us to stop worshiping Jesus? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I could do the worshiping Jesus one. So let me think. I could riff off of the last guy because I do. But yeah, you don't seem interested. So I'll just go.
We might as well. We've gone Phil Bro today. We might as well just keep going Phil Bro. It's like, I got to leave in 5 minutes anyways. We're not building the audience now.
If you have 5 minutes, then I'll just ask a quick question. If you have, so you believe Jesus performed miracles, right? Like walked on water, rose from the dead, turned water into wine.
Yes.
If I were to propose so you believe that he did that through the power of God?
I did that because I believe he could do that because he was God.
Right. Yeah. But do you have like a mechanism for how God exerts causes, or how does that work?
I don't need a mechanism.
Yeah. So my question would be, if you were provided an explanation for Jesus's miracles that made a mechanism explicable versus inexplicable, why would that one be less preferred?
So are you just going to bring aliens in here?
Yeah. So like if aliens were
because
the cause.
because it's a argument from induction, right? It's an evidential argument. I have no motivation to believe it's aliens.
Again, so the original question, it doesn't have to be aliens, but if there is some explanation where a mechanism is explicable versus inexplicable, why would the one that's inexplicable be preferred?
Again, because I have no motivation, right? You could present a logical possibility because my argument isn't a logical one, right? It doesn't lead to a logical conclusion. It's not deduction where the conclusion must follow. It's an evidential one. It's an induction. It's looking at all the data and then giving the most parsimonious explanation. So you could posit some sort of mechanism that could fill in the blank there, but unless I have reason to believe that mechanism was involved, then I'm justified to reject it.
Why do you have reason to believe that mechanism wasn't involved?
I need some sort of data or evidence to actually look at that, especially when applying something like the historical method where we apply the principle of charity.
So if we're looking at history, all we have is what we observe, which is what we observe in the natural world. And it seems like things that happen in the natural world proceed from prior causes in the natural world.
Yeah, that's a principle of analogy, which I think we should reject because it's unscientific.
How am I using the principle of analogy?
Principle of analogy is basically if we don't have analogous comparison of what we interact with today, we can't apply it in history. So if we don't see like aliens come down from space, we don't have analogy to compare it to. So we can't say that, hey, when they saw something in the sky, it was aliens. I don't think this works because if we take the historical method and we have an astronomical amount of evidence, so for example, if we had 1 billion contemporary documents saying that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and we have X reason to believe that he was the Son of God, we would have to reject it because of the principle analogy. I think it's dogmatic by nature.
I don't think you can... I don't think a document like saying he's the Son of God is justification for him being the Son of God. It would be all of his miracles. It would be all the things he did.
Right. That's why. Yeah. So there's a part you missed. That's why and I'm speaking fast just because I'm running short on time. The part where I said X was the motivation. So whatever X reason is the motivation. Even if it's a really good motivator, we'd have to reject it because of the principle analogy, which again I think is dogmatic.
I'm not seeing how that follows here. So what I'm saying is that your conclusion that he's the Son of God from the miracles that he did, I'm saying that should be less motivated. You should be less motivated to believe that, given all of the data that we have in the real world.
I agree. Our priors are going to be lower, but then we start incorporating the data and evidence, and then we're going to break the priors into a point where we'd say it's justified to believe X.
But why would it break the priors is my question.
Because I think there's enough evidence to say that he is the Son of God. That's why it's an evidential case. But if we're simply talking about a prior, right, I agree with you. The priors as some sort of naturalistic explanation is going to be much higher than some sort of immaterial explanation.
So then why wouldn't you just so like my question is like, why would turning water into wine like lower your prior for a natural explanation?
Yeah, I'm not using water to wine.
Well, but like all of his miracles are what justify him being the Son of God.
Yeah, so he has control over the natural world, but we also have the claims that surround him as well. And again, applying the principle of charity, unless I have reason to believe otherwise, why would I reject it?
Wait, but having control over the natural world doesn't entail Son of God. It would just motivate like advanced tech.
Right. So again, do you know what the principle of charity is?
No.
Why did you keep going? I brought it up 3-4 times. Why did you keep going as if you knew what I was saying?
I just didn't. I guess I just didn't see why it was relevant. But
you don't know what it is, so how do you know it's not relevant?
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I should have asked earlier.
Yeah. So principle of charity is when we're looking at something, we don't assume dishonesty or some sort of like underlying means without reason to believe that is the case.
Why? Why would I accept the principle of charity?
That's part of the historical method. Unless you have some reason to believe something is dishonest or trying to mislead you, you shouldn't jump to that conclusion because it leads to a chaotic lifestyle.
It leads to a chaotic lifestyle.
So imagine if you walked around every day and assumed that everybody was dishonest all the time.
Yeah, but that wouldn't. So like, if somebody came to me and had, no, I won't go that route. So it could be the case that like, so you're saying that like Jesus would say certain things that would indicate a divine power.
Yeah, so Jesus comes, claims to be a person who's fulfilling old prophecy in the Old Testament. If these prophecies are true, that's a motivator to believe that, hey, yes, he is this person who claims to be from the Old Testament. For your theory to be true, that is some sort of naturalistic being or some sort of alien, we have to posit more unnecessary conditions, for one, as in like they'd have some sort of motivation to mess with us, plus the ability to do so and the time frame to do so. And they've been doing it for thousands of years to kind of like confine all these things together. Because remember, you're kind of doing like an eternal critique. All these things are true from Old Testament to New Testament, except because aliens, for example, are more naturalistic, we have a better reason to believe aliens over God. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Aliens over God. God in the sense that you're using it. I think Jesus is using God in a different sense here.
That's a bit of a red herring.
Well, so I guess like I'm saying like Jesus isn't being dishonest in the sense that he's lying when he says he's the Son of God. He just doesn't mean he like what is entailed by that isn't that there's some kind of immaterial force that he can manipulate. It's that he has some kind of like divine understanding, like something maybe Gnostic or Baha'i.
Yeah,
but that's not.
What's my motivation to believe that?
Because he never says that, like he never says like he has an immaterial power. Well, like I guess that's going to be more of like a philosophy question, probably. Why would we be motivated to believe?
Why? Yeah, like when we're doing history, right? I'm looking at the historical Jesus. Why would I assume some sort of like Gnostic version or some sort of materialistic power?
Yeah, like what? Like what? When you say materialistic power or Gnostic power, you mean like his conception of what he means by what he says?
Yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to try to steel man you again, and then probably have to go after you give the answer. So you're saying that because we have some sort of we see material interactions within the universe more often than we see immaterial, right? Almost to the point where you could say none. Now you're saying that means we're more motivated to believe that when Jesus did his miracles, there's some sort of unknown naturalistic explanation to that is more likely than some more immaterial explanation. Is that the argument that you're making?
Right. I think.
Okay. What is my motivation to believe that when all the data points to this immaterial thing? I'd agree with you if we're talking about a simple prior, right? When I'm approaching an event, a material cause and effect is more likely. But when I start getting new information, I update my knowledge. I would say I have enough updated knowledge now to say we are justified to say that Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
I would probably say that. Well, why do you believe that Jesus is referring to something immaterial when he refers to God?
Because he's affirming this Yahweh figure, and this Yahweh figure is an invisible God, immaterial. But I'm going to say, if you want me to go down that road, I don't think it's going to do you well, because you can hold to a viewpoint that God is some sort of material being, and we could still have this Christian worldview that would still be true, where we would follow it.
Yeah, I guess I don't have probably a satisfying answer, but I would have to look into why people believe that. Because I don't know that Jesus is like I don't know that he's referring to Yahweh when he says the Father.
Jesus' name literally is Yahweh is salvation. That's his name. That's what Jesus means.
I see. Okay. Well, I'll probably have to look into that more.
All right, man.
If you gotta go.
Great interlocutor. Appreciate your time. God bless.
Take care. God bless.
This is Lamb. This is one of the biggest bullets that I'm finding a lot of atheists are biting now, is that they'll grant, and he was a nice guy, I'm not coming down on him, but they're granting the historical resurrection and then just saying it's not likely that God did it, that something else did it.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot, especially with like the alien hypothesis.
Yeah. All right, guys, I got to go. Lamb, thanks for hanging out. God bless you.
God bless, bro. Appreciate it.
Maybe we could talk a little bit more about that Fibonacci thing if you're free.
Yeah.
All right. Peace. Goodbye, guys. All right, folks. I apologize. I got to run, but like I said, I got a haircut booked, and I don't like being late or missing appointments. So I love you all. We're not going to do like any out of here. We'll do a quick prayer. Our Father who's in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our sins as we also forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation. For yours is the power forever. I forget the rest. I always forget that part. In Jesus' name, amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I love you guys. God bless. We'll see you all next time.